Oh, right. Evening, people. How we doing? Hope everyone is good. Interesting game coming up on Sunday. Going to be the first. Oh, pardon me.
I'd already.
First game for the new manager we got. Hopefully, we can do something to end these people. And a couple of other things going through there. We're meant to be interested in a few players and everything. You knew the whole thing was going to come through that we're interested in players after the transfer window. Seems to do that without fail every fucking time. But we'll get to the point. Ben, how we doing, fella?
Yeah, I'm not doing as great as I usually am. I'm a bit disappointed, a bit down, a bit depressed, actually, mate. It's not good.
Wow, what's the matter with you?
Well, look, as soon as you're going to push me on it, I'm going to be honest. Now, I'm not usually one to share my feelings, so give me a minute. I get a little bit emotional. I've heard some horrendous news today, which might come as a bit of a shock to you lot. I don't really know how to say it. I get a little bit choked up. Richarlison's back from injury.
Oh.
And
is that a good thing or a bad thing at the end of the day, isn't it?
Mate, right. if I see that geezer play football for this club one more time, I am literally going to jump out of a window.
Well, we are that desperate at the moment, but we can go to that. Right, I'm going to say hello to a couple of people, bring our guests on, and then we just go with the flow from there. Henry, how you doing, fella? I'd be good. What's he saying? Big up, Danny. Hopefully you saw what the club have done for Harley. Yep, I've been keeping an eye on that one, mate. Big up to you for helping a few months back. Appreciated. Yep, he seems to be doing well for himself now. The boy, they've got him interested. He's been on the news and everything else. Hopefully they can get what they need. It's about time that they did. And what's that? Barnaby, hello, new here. You all right, mate? How you doing? And also say he's an Arsenal fan. Well, if you've got a point to make, it's there. And Ben obviously saying hello. Hotspur Flicks, come on, you Spurs. Big up, mate. How you doing? Saying evening all. And Scott Spur, what he's saying, class intro, by the way. Yep, you can thank Ben for that one. He sorted that out. I just sorted the music on that to get it to the bass line on it and fix up with it and that. And he done all the video.
Oh.
And big up, mate. And the Bottle Derby, big up, lads. Big game. Yes, it is a big game. It's a big game on both sides, but pressure's definitely on them. Inter game prediction, I'm going to say 2-1 Inter. I mean, even though they're top of the league at the moment, they're still a bit shaky, but they're clear at the top of the league. I reckon they're going to win their table as well. I mean, AC Milan, they've only lost one, but they're not the most reliable ones out there. And Tom laughing, also Hotspur Flicks laughing, along with others. Lewis, big up, mate. How you doing? Benji had me for a second. Yes, he did. Jordan,
it's
big up,
horrendous
mate.
news.
How you doing? And that it is. And Tom also saying, evening, lads. Evening to you two, fellas. Psycho teacher. Good evening, lovely gentlemen. Good evening to you, mate. Right, bring on our two guests that we got with us and possibly a couple more coming on later, depending what people are doing. Maz, how we doing, mate?
All good, fella. All good. Tired from work, but yeah, nothing's new on that front. But yeah,
same Spurs, different day, yeah?
That's it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't think much changed there anytime soon either. And our other guest seems to have disappeared. I'm sure he'll appear again. So, right, let's just come to a point I want to get to here first then, yeah? I mean, we got a new manager. He's give his... He's give us his first review as such. I mean, Maz, we go with you. Like, how did you take that review? Have you seen the review he done?
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I thought, you don't want to get overexcited about these things. There's nothing to get excited about. Let's be honest. He's a temporary manager, and all he has to do is get us 4 wins. So, what he says doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. But what I will say is that I think he said all the right things. Really, he looks like he takes no shit from no one. Mm-hmm. I don't think any player would stand up to someone like that, especially if he's 6'4". It looks like he's straight out of the sort of.
Do you remember him as a player?
Eastern Europe gangster book type thing. I kind of remember him as a player. I think he was
at Juventus and Croatia. Yeah, he was a good defender. I mean, he weren't nothing that you call world class or whatever.
No,
but then to get called that was a different story. If you brought him up now, he'd probably be a solid player because you know how poor football's gone down, basically. But he had a reputation when he was younger, like at Croatia and Juventus. He was a savage.
Yeah, and I was actually quite impressed with his interview because he didn't over sensationalize anything. He knows he's there for a job. He knows that he needs to fix things. He seems very sure of himself that what his task is and what he needs to do. And what I liked about what he said was that he knows that there's problems at the club, injuries, the fans aren't happy. He laid out his stall as to how he wants to play football. Not that means anything, because I'm sure, I think Frank said he was going to play exciting football, and that didn't quite work out, did it? So from that aspect, I thought it was pretty good. But I'm not expecting anything from him. I know that he's not going to be here next year, more than likely. I know.
Very unlikely. I mean, he's only here for the 12 games, isn't it?
Exactly. So I don't have any expectations of him. I just hope that he can put a run together and get us 4 wins, and we're safe. I mean, that's all we can hope for this season, right?
I mean, what we'll do is we'll say hello to Eugene, and I'm going to jump down Maz's throat. Eugene, how are we, mate? You good? Coming for you, mate, after that. Eugene, how are you, mate? You good?
I'm good. By the way, let me know if I'm good. Let me know if I'm lagging, because my internet is acting up. So
you're
if I'm
right,
lagging,
you're right now.
I'll jump off.
Yeah. No, you're all right now.
I'm okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like I live in a third world country, which is crazy. Even though I'm in Silicon Valley.
Did you hear the previous question from Dan?
About Igor?
Yeah, the interview.
Yeah, about his review, about his interview.
I mean, he sounded normal.
Makes strange, doesn't it? What is normal?
Yeah, but to be honest, I never listened to interviews because all of it is PR nonsense. From
most of it.
The snippets, he sounded, what he said was common sense. It wasn't anything like, oh my God, now I think we're going to go undefeated. We'll see. Like, to me, nothing that any manager says matters. I just want to see some results on the pitch. So we'll see what happens.
No, fair enough. Do you know what? I'm just going to... I understand what Maz and Eugene have said, but for me, right, only Tottenham Hotspurs can you say you're happy and look depressed at the same time. I'm happy to be at Tottenham. So
He's
happy.
from Eastern Europe, mate. It's the Eastern...
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's the Eastern European look.
Oh, fine, fair enough.
Ben, one thing the players were complaining about, I mean, obviously they're going to make their complaints and give their excuses when the manager's sacked. Players are slimy like that,
Right.
But whether they're serious or not, one thing they did actually mention, not in the exact words, but basically brought it up with the lack of charisma off Thomas Frank. Like how he only ever wanted to speak to 1 or 2 people, wasn't assertive, whatever else you want to put it as such. I mean, this fella is a very, very, very different type of person. I mean, it's a complete bang opposite to Thomas Frank, basically. And if you do remember him as a player, very aggressive player, very aggressive, and get stuck into a game. Yeah. And I think he's put it quite clear on there, basically, of what he intends to do. And if he sticks by what he says, I think he's definitely getting one thing right in the main thing that I think let Thomas Frank down. And that was the fact when Thomas Frank went out in a game to not lose the game. And I think that's what fucked him up overall, basically. And I think that's basically what he was saying in the interview, in the aspect of the he's not going to be going into games without an idea but to win, basically. Whereas Thomas Frank seemed to go into games where he was happy to get a draw, just don't lose.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Look,
he just comes across as he's not going to take no shit from no one, and that, I mean, dare I say, is that what we need? I mean, there was a clear lack of discipline, I thought, in our squad, right? Massively, almost from day one. For someone like Van der Ven to just lose faith in the manager and just disrespect a manager like that, I think is quite telling, because Van der Ven doesn't come across as a troublemaker in a squad. Maybe I'm being too kind to him. Jed Spence, I would expect nothing less. I think he's got that in him. But you can see that as the season went on, there was just a distinct lack of respect and discipline throughout that whole squad towards Frank. Now, I saw a story come out. I didn't really read it very well, but I saw a few lines saying that Romero weren't quite happy with Frank, and because Romero wasn't happy, the dressing room sort of wasn't that enamored with him either. And we've seen other stories, haven't we, where Frank would only talk to like the 4 key players and then disseminate the information to the rest of the players and not really talk to anyone else. And the players didn't like that. So I don't know how much credence you give to all that stuff, but that with Tudor, he ain't going to take that shit. Well, he doesn't. Look, I'm not going to pretend that I know him.
If he's anything like he was as a player, personality-wise, then he won't.
Yeah.
And he doesn't come across like it.
Yeah, it doesn't come across. And you can just see in the way he carries himself, in the way he talks, that he's just not going to accept shit from anyone. Doesn't matter who they are. And the fact that he's, in Italy, they refer to him as the fixer. Like, he goes in and he fixes situations and gets clubs out of trouble. Maybe his reputation precedes him, type thing. So I don't have that strong opinions of him. I'm not, I'm not like Stel, who's just like instant attacking the guy and all of that. I don't know enough about him as a manager to, pass judgment on him. All I care about is what Eugene said. I just want to see results on the pitch. All I care about is getting 4 or 5 wins and being safe. And then looking forward to next season. Or I say looking forward, seeing what happens in the summer next season.
But it seems to be strong enough for people to have false hope. Look, for me, my take on that interview is exactly this. So we started off as Captain Happy. I'm so happy. Brilliant. Fine. I'm going to be honest. Everything he said was completely scripted, complete fucking bullshit. I don't buy any of it. I think it's all fucking nonsense. I think he was too accurate with what he says. To me, it stinks of PR. It's boring. He's come in. He said, but he said all this shit, and people are like, all right. I mean, look, admittedly, he said all the right things, but do you not find that a little bit fucking curious? Like,
mate,
I'm not buying. Yeah, fine,
Benji,
but is that really from him?
come
I'm not
on,
buying
come
none
on.
of it. No, don't come on me, Maz. Right? You know what I meant by that. You know what I meant by that.
I was going to say,
definitely don't do that.
On, mate.
Definitely, you can talk to me, but don't do that.
Not tonight, mate. Arsenal and Wolves are playing.
Look, I hear it, but all I'm saying is, to me, the whole fucking thing was scripted. I'm not buying it. The only thing that I thought was real that he said was when he's familiar with Decky and Bentancur. For me, that was the only thing I thought. That's probably the only thing that you're saying. That's.
I think.
Okay.
Look, I hear Stel's side of the argument because he non-stops goes on in the chat groups about it. We know where Stel lands on it. He doesn't. He's not going to believe anything apart from whether it, unless Ange says it. And the other side of the argument.
He's right though.
Right, the other side of the argument is where all the fans get sucked in. But for me, there's nothing to get sucked in for. No one really knows much about him, right? Apart from very few people that follow Italian football. And I don't follow. I watch Italian football, but I don't follow it that closely to really know who he is, right? So I defer to Iggy, what Iggy says about him, and what maybe Dan says about him, and stuff like that. And he's temporary. And let's be honest, I bet you he said exactly the same thing for every single club he's ever gone to fix the situation. So, I mean, what do we expect the guy to say? Oh, I've come here. You're lucky that I've come here. And I think all your players are shit, but don't worry, I'm going to get a few results for you. I mean, what do you want him to say, Benji?
No, I understand that, but then if you flip that coin to the other side, you're also getting fans and people around the world that are saying, "Oh, he could do us the job. He could do it for us." I've got a bit of faith. The same people that are saying that are the ones that had no fucking idea a week ago this geezer was even a manager. So don't get me wrong, I'm all for having a bit of faith. I mean, me personally, I think it's the hope that kills you. But I'm just not buying it. And if you want the absolute truth, I am convinced that it'll probably lead us to relegation because 2 previous managers couldn't get a tune out of these fucking players. And you think these players are going to respond to an hard geezer? This is 2026. they'll probably sit in that changing room and fucking cry before they actually turn out a decent performance. I'm sorry if this is negative, but I'm not fucking buying it no more. I'm done with all the we might do it. It's bullshit, Maz. So I hear you, but there's always two sides to that coin, mate.
You what? I don't say that. But this what you're talking about is no different to any other league. All the players globally have all socially have just changed, right? And we've tried all the different managers. You can't say Jose Mourinho or Conte weren't hard. I mean, they managed to get performances out of the players by
different time, different players.
What, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, it was. At the time, we had Harry Kane and Heung-min Son.
Yeah, but Conte still berated the players and shouted at them, and they were scared of him and stuff. So I don't know, mate. Look,
I mean, boys,
it's pretty. It's easy to jump down. It's easy to be. Look, this is not an ideal situation. None of us want to be in this situation. But I think it's very easy just to jump down the guy's throat where we know nothing about him and say, "Oh, it's all scripted. Oh, it's all this, it's all that." We don't know what he's going to do. If it comes out and we beat Arsenal and we go on a 3-4 game winning run, what does that prove? It proves that the players can perform with the right guy in charge, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think this, even though the lack of team we have got at the moment, I still don't think it's as bad as 16th. No, I'm not saying it's a top 8 team, but I don't think it's as bad as where we got. I mean, go on, Eugene. You were going to say?
No, I'm just saying it's very simple. All the players, they know he's a temporary manager. He'll be there for a couple of months. So it's not like a new manager. The players know they'll still be here next season and he won't be. So honestly, I don't think the manager matters. It's on the players to get us out of this mess. All he can do is put them in the right position to do so. That's it. But no manager whose contract is going to be done in a couple of months is going to be able to put in a new philosophy, command respect, and so forth. The players are the ones that need to step up and pull us out of this mess. Again, the only thing he can do is maybe he can say, okay, let's play the back 5 and maximize the potential of the players. That's pretty much it. So nobody can say he's a terrible manager, he's a good manager. I don't think none of it matters. It's all about, do the players have the balls to actually to play up to their potential and not down tools? That's it. It's that simple. The manager
he said,
is not
Eugene,
very relevant.
You know what he said, Eugene, that for me stood out of the whole interview. He mentioned specifically the players training well. He goes, if they train well, he expects them to bring that onto the pitch. It's exactly what Poch used to be like. You're here to train well first, right? If you train well, then you can get on the pitch. And that is what Igor said. That I guess is what made me like him in terms of, from that interview. I thought,
doesn't every manager say that though, Maz?
No, not really.
No,
I was hearing that from Frank week in, week out.
No,
that they're training well on the pitch. They're doing this,
Frank
they're doing
just
that.
made out everything was great, and we were losing every bloody week. It's just.
Do you think that's where personality comes into it? I mean, you can have 2 managers, exactly the same tactics, exactly the same style, exactly the same on everything. But this is where personality comes into it a lot more, charisma, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of talk on things and that this is one thing he has got that can make a difference, basically. I mean, in that aspect, I won't deny it. The way he comes across, like his first interview, and the way I remember him as a player, so I'm more focusing on what he was like as a player. I know times change. He's more who I would listen to personally, and I think I'm going to listen to the bloke who's a bit more upfront, in your face, blunt and blatant, 6'4", than my little science teacher sitting next to me. But that's just me, Dan, as a personality.
And that's the thing, Dan.
It's funny, Dan. You know what?
And that's the biggest thing. Comment. The players know he played the game. Look ahead,
That's the point.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, I know you're lagging. What I was gonna say is, it's funny. There's a comment by DO3851. Right, it says, "Oh, Maz is so easily pleased with any words." Well, I've had 2 years of Ange lying every fucking week through his teeth, contradicting himself every week. I've had 6 months or 7 months with Frank absolutely lying his arse off every week and doing terrible interviews. Right, we get a guy who comes in, he's up front, no bullshit attitude. Right, and then all of a sudden, we can't be pleased with what he's saying. We should believe what we're going to do. Believe that Frank Wank and Ange who used to lie every week. It's nonsense. We know nothing about him. All we can do is judge him on what he's said now and what we see. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to act like, oh my God, he's the worst thing ever. Look, I wanted Redknapp and Sherwood to come in. That's what I wanted. It never happened. It was a long shot anyway for them to come in. One, because Redknapp is old, although he put himself out there. And two, Sherwood probably talked himself out of not getting the job because of how,
because of a couple of interviews he did.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. I almost get the impression that everyone just wants us to constantly be angry all the time about everything all the time, and we can't just objectively look at an interview and say, yeah, that whether that was good or bad. They just want us to be like, oh, we need to go, oh, this, oh, that. You know what I'm fed up about, Dan? I'm just fed up about talking about leave out Enoch out now. You know why? Because no one wants to fucking protest. So until people protest, I don't give a shit anymore. End of story.
I mean, again, like you say, you can only go with the interview the man gives and everything else and that. And so far, it was a... Cool, Ben, your mic.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. I'm trying to move it. Hang on, sorry.
You can only come across with basically what he's said. And for me, it was what you would call an interview that you'd expect as such. But he come across confident and said the right words to an extent for me. And then you got to take it from there, basically. I mean, if someone would have come in and said, well, I can blatantly see the show's like up shit street, and be like, okay, we know that. I don't know if I can fix it, but I'm going to try. Then people definitely wouldn't have been impressed, would they? So really, what is the man meant to actually say? What is any manager meant to say? For me, when it comes to a manager doing reviews, it starts, for me, you can blatantly see the PR bit. But then when you start seeing a few of them, you can start picking out at the bits which you know are more natural for them and not necessarily PR. Like Ange started to do it a hell of a lot. Frank started to do it a hell of a lot, basically. And it's the only interview he's got. So I think the only way you can go into this is with a bit of hope, as in, right, we didn't really expect him in any means or manner. No one predicted him as such. Okay, respectable review, mate. Let's hit and hope and see where we go, innit? And with your first game against Arsenal, that's going to be very interesting.
Do you know what?
It's going to hype them up.
It's not what he said that bothers me. It's the way fans buy into it. And I know I shouldn't judge because we've all got our own opinions. Fine. But it's the way, fans will buy into it and get that hope. And I just, for me, I can't understand how people can't see through the absolute bullshit that is this club. I mean, with the Arsenal game, I know you're about to lead on to it. Call me crazy. I would not have got an interim manager in till after that game because you are on your way to an arse whooping, my boy, and it's not going to be a great way to start. I mean, look, there are some people that are saying, oh, Benji, we might get a draw. Really? Okay. I think you're fucking delusional if you genuinely believe that, but okay. All right. I mean, if that's what you want to think.
Stranger things have happened, mate. Stranger things have happened.
Not a Tottenham fucking Hotspurs, mate. We know what's coming. Mate, you know what's coming.
Are you seriously going to trust Frank?
We got to a Champions League final, mate.
No, of course I'm not going to trust Frank to do this, to win that game. Of course I'm not. But listen,
he's going to be like, I know what I'll do. I will implement the same tactics I did against Chelsea before and Arsenal before.
Couldn't hype the team up for the Arsenal-Chelsea game.
It's not the managers. Now, I agree that these players are better than 16th. I do agree with that. But I'll tell you another thing. I don't fucking trust these players to show me their heart when they go out and play Arsenal. Do any of you truly believe they're going to have enough pride for the fucking badge on their shirt to go out there and perform the way we all feel they should do? I don't.
That one is where you're going to have to wait and see, because we've seen them have it at times.
Not under Frank.
I mean, yeah, against Man City both times, basically. I mean, that first half with Man City was abysmal, but they got their shit together in the second half. But I also think that shit together in the second half was also down to Man City getting complacent. They thought the job was done, basically, and all of a sudden got a bit of a shock out of it as well. But you would have had to put the effort in to get that. And that is one thing that definitely showed from Frank early, which I did question, is in the aspect of that team was not hyped up for that first Arsenal game.
They were scared.
How couldn't you do that? How couldn't you hype your team up for a bloody Arsenal game, basically? Not that you should have to do it, but you do have to do it.
I'll tell you why, Dan. I know exactly the reason why, right? Because Frank was a secret gooner. All he did was talk to the players about Arsenal, which they all got.
That's one thing they did say, wasn't it?
And they had Arsenal cups in the dressing room. I mean, the players did say that. You know, obviously the stories got leaked out. So no wonder he couldn't rally the players up. Can you imagine being a Tottenham Hotspur player, right? And you've got a new manager coming in, bigging up Arsenal all the time. And you're like, hold on a minute. Why are you bigging up our biggest rivals? It's mental. It's absolutely mental.
I mean, they're a good frame to work on, because, you know, look, Arsenal, you ain't going to like this. I think Arsenal. Look, come on. Look, I understand that, and it's a laugh and it's a joke, but let's be realistic here. Arsenal, their model is a very, very good model. They've done it the right way. They've got a manager. They've put faith, you know, a young, aspiring, up and coming manager. Why is that bollocks? If it's bollocks, then why the fuck are they top of the Champions League? Why are they top of the Premier League?
I'll tell you why. Because they spent £1 billion, right? They trust any club that wins a lot, right, or demands more from their team, they would have sacked Arteta after his second or third season or fourth season at most, right? That's what Man City or Liverpool would have done, right? If they had that bad spell with Arteta. He was lucky that he stayed along, all right? And this model that everyone's talking about, Arsenal copied our model, what we've done with Poch. That's the only reason they stuck with him. It's not their model, right? They copied us. They saw what we did with Poch, right? And they went down that route. You
sound like Lubo.
But they done it the right way. They done it the right way, though, didn't they? Yeah. In the aspect of backing the manager at the same time.
What they is what they done, right, as a club, right, which I don't necessarily put down to Arteta, is they bought well, right, and they bought quality over quantity. Right, that is what proper clubs do, and that is where I rate Arsenal. Right, and when they made the mistake, they got rid of their players quickly. Another thing that they did as well is they didn't let the in this current generation of players, they didn't let massive egos take control of the club like they did, like Ozil did and Aubameyang did. They got rid of those guys early. That is what I rate them on. Right, but for me personally, to cite Arteta as this golden child of football, like they're the ultimate thing. For me, as a Spurs fan, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
All right, Maz, you know what?
If they were in the Premier League, I won't think, oh, wow, look what Arteta done. I think, okay, fine. He's spent over £1 billion and he's won it in his 8th year.
No, but you can't tell me he's not a fantastic manager, because look, 3 years ago, for me,
he's good.
Hold on, let me back up my point first. Right?
I think you use it. No, you
hold on. No, bollocks. Let me say this. Fine, let me say this and tell. Okay, let me say this and tell me I'm fucking wrong.
Benji, take Arteta's cock out of your mouth, mate.
Wait, no, look, I've got to call it as I see it. I love my fucking club, but I'm not blind to other clubs. Look, I'll say this: the reason why I say he's been fantastic for them, right, is this: 2 seasons ago, well, this season and 2 seasons ago, they were the best footballing team in the country for 2 seasons running. I think they were unbelievable. And then the guy has absolutely evolved and changed it to, we're going to sit back and hope that VAR sorts out. And it's worked beautifully for them. They've gone from playing beautiful football, beautiful football to dirty football, but it's getting them results. And look at this season.
I'm telling you, this season for me, right, the establishment of English football are trying everything in their power to give it to Arsenal. Right, they're getting every decision go their way. They're getting away with murder in most games, right? I tell you what, Benji, this last 5-10 minute section when we were talking about Arteta, that's exactly why the Tottenham players didn't play for Frank.
I didn't actually finish the point on that, did I? No. No, I was simply trying to say it's a good model to go off, but you absolutely cannot continuously use that when you are managing a rival. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I get your point, but fantastic is the wrong word. I think he's proven himself good in that aspect, but the fact that he's had that much money on it spent on him, and he was, what was it, 10 points clear of City and still bottled it and everything else. This is why I think we got a chance on Sunday, but I'll come to that. Mike, how you doing, fella?
Big up, lads. Just recovering from the sickness I had over the weekend. My throat is still a bit itchy, so you know, I've been better, but nevertheless, I'm here to speak about the derby.
Did you see the interview of Tudor?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
What do you think of it?
Just quick, Mike, before you start, sorry, Eugene has to dip because his internet's shocking. So, Eugene, take it easy, mate. Try and get back on if you can. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No worries, mate. Yeah. So I've seen the interview. He basically gave me the Slavic vibe of no shit's taken, which I like. I think we need it right now. I think not only the team but the fan base need like a guy who can be, for the lack of a better word, a leader, in the sense of just to show the players how it will be and how we should approach the games, right? Because right now with 12 games to go and with Tudor not staying after the season ends, we don't really need like tactical things, and we don't need like the implementation of a system and the way we play and the Spurs way and all that fucking bullshit, right? Right now we just need points, and we need a guy to basically find the quickest way to organize them in the simplest way and just get us points on the board, right? And when I heard what Tudor had to say, I think, or at least I hope he will give us that, right? By his previous stints as a caretaker manager, I hope that he will bring us at least a bit of stability, right? I think we have some winnable fixtures in the last 12, and if everything goes to what I think it will, I think we will stay not quite comfortably, but I think we'll stay up with him, right? But yeah, I like the fact that he was just like honest, but not in a frank way honest, right? As in Thomas Frank way honest, right? Because Thomas Frank was honest, but he was just trying to downplay everything, and he was just saying the wrong things at the wrong time, right? Like, I know we finished 17th last season, but I don't need you to remind us that we did, right? I want you to change it. I want you to change it, and I want you to do better.
Seeing
right?
as we are 16th and could be, and looks like we're going to do worse.
Yeah, so I don't need him reminding us of that, right? I would rather have my manager say that we need to do much better, and I think Frank was just too polite and too like Scandinavian type of honest, right? Whereas I think we will have some big Slavic balls, as a manager right now.
Do you think
I don't want to like simplify it to nationalities or whatever, right? But I think in general it's.
So would you say you've brought into what he said and you don't believe it was a massive PR stunt? Because that's where I'm at personally.
Listen, it had to be a bit of PR, right? Like every club does it. I would be surprised if they filmed the first interview and he came out and said, "You lot are shit." He
it would have been more honest.
Yeah, that's fair, right? But of course, he has to, comply to the club's rules around the first interview. They probably instructed him what he's supposed to say or key points that he should go for or whatever, right? But
Mike,
I like it.
Do we really think that the club could tell him what to say?
Not really, but at least they tried. I think they tried.
That's a fair point, man.
I don't think
Yeah.
Why would he?
What's he got to lose? He's got nothing to
Exactly.
lose here, whatever. I mean, if this all goes tits up, he can turn around and just
Boys.
say, basically, look at the shit I walked into. What did you want me to do? Basically, this is basically a no-brainer for him in the aspects of like it's easy money. He knows he's gone in 12 games, basically. If it don't go right, he's got the perfect excuse on his contract, on his CV, basically to say, well, look at that shit that I had to take on as such and everything, yeah? And if he gets it right, he's also got the perfect way to turn around and say, well, look what I did sort of thing. It's a bit of a win-win for him in that aspect sort of thing. I mean, I think he's going to say the odd things he's told to, it's what managers do. But I think he just come across good. And I think he come across with that assertiveness that I think a few of us needed to hear after listening to Frank for the past 8 months, because he just did not come across with any confidence, did he?
Mate, for me, he may as well have been reading a fucking board.
I think people can be really angry at why they brought Tudor in, as in angry at Vinay and Lange, right, and all of the crap that's happened in the background with their decision making and them wanting to keep Frank and stuff. I get that. I get the anger. I'm angry about that. But what I can't be angry at is Tudor himself. I don't get that. Like what? How can people just be against the manager? The guy's come in to save us effectively.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a record of saving other clubs. He's an interim manager. What does everyone expect?
His past 4 teams has always been a very good start.
Yeah.
Masa, I'm glad he even took the fucking job, right? Like, like let's be honest about it, because like, sorry, I need to rant about like the whole reaction to his appointment, right? Yeah, because like I am fucking baffled by the situation we found ourselves in, right? I'm not saying he's the savior and he's the god of like a new fucking Mourinho or something, right? But I don't know what people's expectations were when we were searching for a manager, right? Like in all like logic, when you look at it logically, right? Pochettino was out of it, right? Because he manages USA, he isn't going to take us before the World Cup, right? Who will take this club that have an established job already, right? Like, why would anyone leave their clubs unless they are in the same shit show that we are in? Well, then they are not a good appointment, right? But like, what kind of manager would take us with 12 games to go, only on a interim job, right? Like, I don't think there were many managers that we could attract, right? And I won't take the whole fucking like Xabi Alonso or Xavi Hernandez or Zidane or whatever, right? Like, let's be honest about it. Even in the summer, they will tell us to fuck off, right? So, like, I don't understand what people's expectations were, right? And at least I feel personally, just because people didn't really know who he is, they just threw a hissy fit for the sake of it, right? Because like people had this like dream of having Redknapp or Sherwood or whatever, right? Which for me again goes into the whole like attitude of us as a club and as a fan base. We are really sentimental, right? As a fan base, we would rather, like half of this fan base would rather have Redknapp, who didn't manage for 15 years and is 88 and probably has dementia right now. So they would rather take him than someone who is just fresh and just can maybe bring a fresh idea to this club, fair, right? Mike. No. But the point is, right? Just because a lot of people wanted the fairy tale of Redknapp or Sherwood or someone else, they are shitting right now on disappointment because they didn't get their way, right? Instead of just looking into who Tudor is and what he does, right?
I don't think. I'll tell you why I don't think it's fair. Not that I entirely disagree with you. I don't. I do think our fan base is sentimental, but what I was advocating for is I wanted Tottenham people to come in. I wanted people that actually understood the club, right? Not just what's happened in the last 2 years, but historically. And when you look at Redknapp, first things first, everyone's looking at his age, but he's actually, when you look at his social media, it's actually a very fit 78-year-old man. You know, I mean, let's be honest. You got.
Yeah, I was joking with that dementia
yeah,
thing,
you got,
of course.
You got
I agree,
Trump,
Michael.
who's nearly 80, managing. You know, I say managing. You know, leading fucking the USA. Not that he's an example of anything, but what I'm trying to get at is that I don't think age is the factor. Granted, I accept that he's not managed for a while, and I'm assuming there's reasons for that. But all we needed was, for me, people that understood Tottenham and who could galvanise the players. And I could think of no one better than Redknapp. And Sherwood's by the by, but let's say it was Redknapp and Sheringham or Redknapp and Defoe or something along that ilk to come in and just get us 4 wins. That's all we need. And
That's
I think
more of
Redknapp could have done that.
For the sake of the show, Maz,
possibly.
I'll disagree with
That's
you.
more of a supporters. That's more of a supporters thing, in my opinion. That is definitely more of a supporters thing.
Look,
Quickly, Az, how you doing, mate? Az, you there?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. Apologies, I'm a bit late. I just come back. I
That's
was
all right.
out, so jumped on as soon as I can. So I haven't seen anything of the show.
How
you hear
you
me?
been anyway? Yeah, I can hear you. I think you're lagging a little bit on your screen, but can hear you fine.
Can you see me?
So, yep, but that's it. You're lagging a little bit, but you're fine. So, I'll ask you then? Did you see?
I'm gonna jump
interview?
off. I'm gonna sort out the.
Yep.
I think there's a. Yeah, there's a delay, bro. Let me jump off. I'll sort it out and then I'll come back.
All right, mate. Not a problem.
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
While Haz is jumping off,
back on, mate.
let me just real quick, because Maz and I have to disagree. Just that's just what it is.
I only saw bits of the interview.
All right, hang on a sec. Haz, you're lagging proper bad, mate. Jump off and jump back on. Yeah, I think you're lagging proper bad, mate. Jump off and jump back on.
The Redknapp piece, I don't think we need anybody who understands the club for the next couple of months to win 4 games. I think our current players, have no idea who he is. Like, one thing that I do like about Tudor is that he played the game recently, unlike Frank or Ange. He actually played. He understands what it takes to stay up, what it takes to be in tough games. So I think that mentality is going to help. I think he can relate to players. He'll understand what issues they might be going through, why they were doubting tools, perhaps. And I think that's the most important thing. He played, he knows. With Redknapp, again, for the next few months, to get 4 wins, I don't think it matters if he's Tottenham or not, if he has history or not. I would be concerned that the players would see an 80-year-old man come in who hasn't managed in a long time, and he doesn't carry the same weight with international players, whether they're Spanish, Brazilian, Argentinian, than he would with the British players. So with Tudor, again, they might know who he is. Some of them know him from Italy. And I think just due to that factor, he'll get some respect. And again, all we need is 2-3 wins. Nothing else matters.
Hats off to you, Eugene. That's the first insight on Tudor that I don't deem fucking ridiculous. That is a really, really
That's what I'm here for, Benji. That's what I'm here for, mate.
Well, this is it. This is what he's about. This is what he's about. No, you are right in what you say. He was a player and he did play in big games, and that is definitely something he's got over Frank and Ange. So, I mean, I know Ange was a player, but he wasn't playing at that level, was he? No, that is a really sensible point, and I've personally never looked at that before. So, yeah, good shit, mate. Good shit.
So, do you think his personality can have a big effect on this? Then, I mean, in that aspect, just quickly of what you said, Maz, all this. How shall I put it? Knowing how the club works and everything. To me, that I can't dig that. Knowing how a club works, you can easily know how any club works just by reading a book or just by bloody watching the football. Yeah.
No, I don't mean it as in the physical.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. And what does it matter?
Well,
whether
let me just.
I think
tackle
it's more
that one
a
point.
fans thing. I think it's more of a fans thing when you bring in a redknapp or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
that's the angle I'm coming from. For me, the reason why is I'm fed up with one, the infiltration of the Gooners at Spurs, right?
Yeah, that's
Vinay and Frank. That really upsets me as a Tottenham fan. But two, what I've been saying is consistently on Tottenham away and Spurs corner for a number of years now. All of the football people that were associated with Tottenham have left the club. And that's a massive problem, right? Pleat was the last one. When Pleat left the club, that was the last, what I would deem Tottenham guy, right, who loved the club, walking out of the club. The reason why I think it was important for Redknapp to come back was because not only did Redknapp grow up around Spurs, right, and stuff like that, but he also managed the club. And having someone like that come in, get the fans on board, get them start to sing in the stadium again, G up the players, bring all of that feel good back, I think kind of is what we all need, because we're so bruised and battered about what's happened, right? That we need that. Now, that's not to say though that what Eugene said, what Mike said, what you guys have said isn't correct. I also agree with that. I just hope that Tudor comes in and does the business, because if he doesn't do it and we start losing and it looks like we're going to go down, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to come on and say, you see, I told you so. And that's what will happen.
So you're under the impression that a manager who's been at Spurs before, knows the Spurs way. Do you deem that an important factor?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
So do I.
I'll tell you why. Because when Pochettino came, one, because quite a few years back now, like 6-7 years ago, I used to go to Spurs every week, right? My uncle had a box at Spurs. I've been going there for the last fucking 30 odd years now, right? Because my dad used to have a season ticket, then my uncle, etc., etc. And when I was going to Spurs and I was going in the box, I met all of the legends, every single legend you can think of. I've met them all. They used to come in because of the owner of the box and my uncle, because they've been going for so long. They used to all know them on first name terms, right? And I saw firsthand having
the impacts.
Yeah, having Spurs people around the club was a big thing, right? When Pochettino came in, why was Pochettino why was putting aside the football, why was Pochettino so invested in Spurs? Because he had Ozzy Ardiles, Ricky Villa, right, and other people around him telling him about the club, telling him what the fans want to see, what we're all about, the history of the club, right? So, and that was the last time, let's be honest, as fans, we were all united. We were all singing off the same hymn sheet. So for me, like family, if you want to call it that, is important. One thing I hate what Levy's done is he's
Dean Wiesel. Fucking Fast and Furious family.
One thing I hated about Levy, what he's done to the club, right, is he's slowly stripped away all of our identity over the last 25 years until we are now, where we've got nothing. We've got no link to the past. Everyone's gone.
Yeah.
That stadium to me means nothing. Right.
Maz, the reason why I ask you that, mate, is because Dan's opinion is completely separate. Dan, you don't think having a manager that comes in and understands Tottenham, you don't think that's got any benefit, do you? You don't subscribe to that, do you?
No, not really. To me, that sounds sentimental.
Do you not think in any way, shape, form that's a positive, though? Because I personally, I agree with Maz.
I can see the positive side to it, but to me, like I said, that just sounds sentimental. Blatantly sounds sentimental.
Dan's the type of guy that when he climaxes, he doesn't make any sound.
I do. I get louder than my wife sometimes, but that's a different story. I mean, I'm lucky in an aspect. I've got a wife that can do that to me. So again, different story though. Maybe another day. But on that one, to me that it's. I wouldn't necessarily say irrelevant. I can understand how it can get the fans more involved as such. Same as like what I've said, if we get Poch back, which I think is going to happen. Yeah.
Mm.
A lot of that is sentimental in that he had us the most united that we've been as a club possibly since 1960s even. I think you could go back that far. And in that aspect, I get it, but he still, when it comes to the final crunch, couldn't do it. But I think getting someone in where there's a sentimental side, that is definitely good on getting the fans on your side. I can do that, but I don't think that has any effect whatsoever on the players.
Yeah,
I don't think the players give a flying fuck whether he had anything to do with the team or didn't, or knows anything about Tottenham or not. I don't think the players give a toss. Most of them don't. I very much doubt most of them come to Spurs on a sentimental reason or whatever. So in that aspect, I really don't. I only see the positive it can have towards the fans. Towards the actual playing football and everything else, what has it got to do with the time of day? Has your thing working now?
Nope.
Nope.
You know, can I just say, right? I use my intuition when I need to, and I've got a sneaky suspicion Has likes trainers. I'm not sure why.
Just a bit.
God, that is some collection. Holy,
how did you
thousands?
That's a lot of money. But
That is
again,
a lot of money.
For me, I think it's a sentimental thing more than anything. Yeah. I mean, even if I get a manager in here who doesn't even like the club as such too much, as long as he does his fucking job, I don't care. Like through when you get a player in, say we get a player in that's been at Arsenal, been at Chelsea, I really don't care. As long as he comes and does his job, what do I give a shit?
Yeah, but
like I've said before,
we say that, but then you get Frank who comes in and he's like basically a gooner in disguise, and he's like ruining the club. And
either way, if he would have done the job properly, I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't give a toss if he wears an Arsenal scarf down the road after the game. As long as he fucking wins it, I don't care.
Yeah,
he didn't, and he's a gooner.
He didn't because of his lack of skill, right? He didn't because of his lack of skill, not because he wasn't a Tottenham guy, right? Like, maybe I should clarify what I meant when I did my little like rant thing, right? I just really despise the fact that so many of us as Spurs fans are against the appointment of Tudor just because he's not a Spurs guy, right? That's what I meant basically. Like,
I agree with that though.
Yeah, it's just that I've seen the reaction, and it was nothing about Tudor as a manager or what he did in his in his managerial career. Nothing about his style of play. Nothing about him as a person. It was just, oh, he's not Spurs, right? That's why I'm against the appointment. And by the way, I wouldn't mind if it was Redknapp or Sherwood or both of them or whatever they came up with, right?
No, I wouldn't.
And maybe it would be even a better option than Tudor, right? Because as you said, maybe it galvanizes the fan base around the players, right? But I just think that Tudor is, I don't want to say like best the manager market had to offer in our current situation, because that's probably not the case. But I think it should be good enough in my opinion. And I really, as I said, dislike the fact that people just dismissed the appointment purely based on like his history as a human, let's call it that way, right? Rather than looking at his career.
It's silly. Yeah, I mean, all it's going to take, like, defense are fickle. If we put in a good shift against Arsenal, defense will be on board. It doesn't matter if he's Tottenham or not. It doesn't matter. And I feel like a proper club cannot be sentimental. Spurs use a sentimentality for fan service because they don't have a plan. And that's why I'm against Poch. Not because I don't rate him, but because that would be ultimate fan service. And it would signal to me that the club would rather appease the fans without having a plan.
Eugene. I agree with you up until a certain point, right? But everyone's buying into this narrative that Sean and Sava have weaved into the fan base, right? It's all this sentimental stuff. Look, Poch has been our most successful manager for the last, aside from winning a trophy, for the last 25 odd years. He's a good manager. He knows
he's had the best football out of us. No debate about it. He's a good manager.
Why wouldn't we want a manager that can work under crap conditions like we have at Spurs to come in and try give it another go?
because the situations are different, Mass. If you look at, I mean, I don't think this should become a Poch debate, but if you look at the situation back then and right now, it's apples and oranges.
It's different. Yeah, but it's different. But Poch is different now as well. Everything's different. I mean, what do you do? What Eugene? Where else do we go as a club? No, I'm being serious.
I'm not saying no. I agree. I'm not saying I have the answers. And again, it's not even against him as a manager. It's just the club always does an easy thing to make the fans happy for a bit, rather than making tough decisions and showing that they have a plan.
But the club has never done.
That's my point.
I agree with you. I'm not. Look, I agree with what you're saying, but the club has manoeuvred itself where it has no options anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No top manager wants to come to Spurs anymore because of what Levy done. Right? The last, after Jose left, no managers wanted to touch us with a barge pile. It took like 30 managers for us to find Nuno.
Yeah, and 80 days or something.
Yeah,
right?
80 days or whatever it was, and then we had to pay Conte like half the stadium for him to come, like £20 million a year, wherever it was, for him to come. And even then, he wouldn't sign a contract. This is what Tottenham Hotspur as reputation is. So they've got no choice but to bring in someone like Poch and rebuild. It's not as if we could go out there and bring in a top manager. Like,
obviously not, but I think Poch, like what Cyril said here, this is what I've been saying as well. And I said this ages ago in the aspect of I think they can bring back Poch when it's going to be an emergency, because it's the last ace up there. The last card up their sleeve they got, because it will keep a certain amount of fan base all of a sudden happy. Poch is back. Happy days are back.
But regardless, is exactly what we need.
No. I'm going to push back on this. I've changed my stance. What does it fucking matter? This is what the fans want. No one turns up to protest. I want people to stop complaining about ENIC, right? They want this. They are not protesting, right? We've been trying to protest for 6 years. Tottenham away, right? We've been moaning about everything for 6 long years every week. We've started up 4 channels or 3 channels, right? Banging on the drum. We've attended all the protests. Oh, me, Lubo, Stel, and on the last protest when we've got 3,000, we were at the front holding the damn flag. Right?
Yeah, I was with you.
You were there, Dan. Right?
Yeah, but how many of them were there because they wanted ENIC out? Exactly. I think more than half were there because they wanted Ange out.
Exactly. I don't give a shit about the protests anymore, and I don't give a shit about the fans complaining about ENIC anymore. Right? Until they go out on the streets and protest, I don't give a shit whether it helps ENIC or not.
Can I just rewind back to Tudor?
Can I quickly just
I
wanted to talk about Tudor because I've seen that We Are Spurs TV commented, and sorry, it's not like calling out or anything, but he said, not a single one of you said we need Tudor months ago. I watch all of the live streams and document what people say. Okay, mate, that's fair enough, right? But a couple months ago, we were in 17th, 6 points ahead of West Ham, or 5 points ahead of West Ham in February, right? When it was November and we were like 12th or 11th, the context of the situation was much different, right? Like me in November, when I said that we should get rid of Frank, my first thought wasn't Tudor, because in November the context of the club is much different, right? We still had a lot more games to play for, right? We still were in the FA Cup. We still had the transfer window ahead of us, right? So the appeal of the club was different than it is right now, right? Right now we are, as I said, 16th or 17th or whatever, right? 5 points ahead of West Ham. We were without the manager and the transfer window was over and we only have 12 games to go, right? Right now, we need a firefighter, right? In Poland, we call them the firefighters, right? When they just come and save you, right? Just save me from the burning house, right? This is what we need right now. We need a guy to come and quickly just put a band-aid on a broken leg, right? Just fix us for those 12 games, right? And we'll worry about the permanent manager later, right? In November, we are talking about different permanent managers coming in and taking over from Frank. Right now, it's an interim job, right? So yeah, I just wanted to refer to that, right? Because like, if you told me that Tudor is supposed to come on a permanent, right, in summer, I would be against it, right? Because I know the history of the guy, right? After like 20 games played for a club, he just falls
starts
out
going
of the
downhill,
family.
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it starts going downhill, right? But we only have
We need
12
that
games to
honeymoon
play.
period, innit?
Yeah,
That is what
yeah,
we need.
and he's good at the honeymoon periods, right? Judging by his history. So my hope is that he just comes in, quickly fixes that, so that we win the games we are supposed to win, survive this season, and just try to not
Start
even rebuild,
again.
just start again, right?
No, and that's what we're hoping for. But you know what? I'll go against the grain and say this: I do not believe Spurs fans are mad at Tudor at all, and I certainly don't think it's got anything to do with sentimentality. I think what Spurs are mad at, and to be fair, it's more directed at Enoch, is why the fuck is this man? Why has he got the qualifications to see us through? Why has this man got the qualifications to keep us out of the relegation zone? Listen, the guy has failed pretty much everywhere he's gone. His biggest achievement was getting third with Monaco, I think it was. I can't remember the team. Third.
Marseille.
Sorry, Marseille's the third. You know, he put Juventus on their worst losing run since 2009.
Yeah, but
you know,
after he got their shit together.
Yeah,
well,
after he got the Champions League, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but regardless, where's his achievements? He saved two. Well, I say he's done well at two clubs to stop them from being relegated. Fine, but all I'm trying to say is, I think the reason why people are mad, and again, it's not at Tudor, it's more at the club for making an appointment that really and truly, to most, I don't think makes any sense at all. He hasn't.
But Benji, no appointment would make sense. There is nobody there that's available.
Right.
Like,
fine,
honestly,
fine.
to Michael's point,
Redknapp,
fans know
survival
nothing.
specialist, English, has been at Spurs. For me,
Come on,
Michael, what's the matter there, mate?
Mate, I'm
Nice.
watching Champions League on the other screen, and two Olympiacos players just headbutted each other, but like full force, fucking
shit.
like this, right? It
Ouch.
looks fucking nasty, mate.
Intentional?
Sorry.
Right, let's see if we
Ben-
can get this working here. Haz, you working now?
Yeah, so it's all good.
There we go.
If in doubt, just restart the computer and it's all good.
If only Spurs were that fucking easy, innit?
Mate, if only we can just do a reset and everything just goes back to like Poch settings or something, you know.
So what's your opinion on all this with the interview off of Tudor, if you've seen it, and the fact that we got him and everything? What's your opinion on all of this? No one has heard your side of this. And anyway, good to see you, mate.
Yeah, good to see you guys as well. I haven't listened to anyone's opinions, by the way, so I don't know anyone's take on it. But for me, initially, it was like a bit underwhelming when it was announced that he was going to take over as an interim manager. For me, it's a case of he's just there to do a job. Interim, he's getting paid to do whatever it takes till the end of the season. Now, that for me could go one of two ways. It could be
very much.
If he really doesn't care and he's just there for the money, he's got nothing to lose. So whether we go down or stay up, he's going to get paid the same anyway.
It's a win-win, isn't it?
So this is for him it is.
For him,
yeah.
This is why we were saying we need to bring someone in that's got some sort of connection with the club, that understands the club, that has passion for the club, that genuinely, you know, his heart is in the club. We've brought in someone that has no connection with the club whatsoever. So, you know, he said some right things in the interview. Like, he hasn't overpromised by the looks of it, but what he has said is he wants hard work, etc., etc. You know, he wants the team to fight, show passion, spirit. It's all well and good. He needs to back it up now and put it into motion. The players need to put it into motion. I don't blame. I'm personally, I'm going to get behind Tudor because he's the only option we have at the moment. There's no point in me saying I don't back him, blah, blah, blah. We've got no other option at all now. It is like, as in the Avengers movies, Endgame now, isn't it? So we have to go with it. Yeah. This is the last throw of the dice. We're not going to get rid of him if after 2-3 games it's not going well and bring someone else in. We are going to have to go ahead with this guy and see what he can do for us. Now, what he said in the interview, you know, we have to trust him on what he's saying based on those facts. This guy, you know, whether we go up or down, like I said, he's going to get paid the same. I just hope he shows enough commitment and passion to, you know, have that belief in himself that he can do it, and for the world to see actually he's not that bad. You know, coming at Tottenham, he's done a good job. I'm not saying we should offer him the job, but he may want to use this as a stepping stone for another job, maybe not so high profile, but another job elsewhere. So the other side of the coin for me, it also feels like a cheaper option for Spurs, if you know what I mean. It's like,
it's got Paratici written all over it, isn't it?
Yeah, but we should have, you know, look, the club is in dire straits, right?
Mm.
We can't go down. It's just unthinkable. It's unfathomable, right? What they stand to lose is astronomical. So with that in mind, spend whatever it takes to bring in a quality interim manager, if not someone who's got connections with the club, or bring in someone who's top quality, say, you're here for 12 games or whatever it is, we're going to pay you whatever it takes, but we want someone with you that has connections to the club. Whether that's, I don't know, just throw it at that. Whether that's Nelly King, Robbie Keane, I know they're all Robbie Keane's at his respective club, but someone who understands the club alongside you to oversee things and to, you know, make sure that, you know, we're on the right path. It seems like to me, they've looked at his record and thought, oh, okay, he's done well for the first few games. We've only got 12 games left. Maybe he can do the same for us. We only need to win 3 games. We all know winning 3 games isn't easy with Tottenham, right?
Yeah, but
stringing together 2 draws isn't easy.
How does having like someone connected to Spurs help us get the results? Like, because if we were bringing in someone to establish the whole like ethos around the club and the playing style, and basically if it was a permanent signing, right, I would completely be with you, right? As I said, it makes sense then, right? But right now we only got this guy for 12 games, right? Like, I don't like, it's not going to be him establishing a philosophy or anything like that, right? He just comes in to get us results, right? And the guy is getting results wherever he is appearing, he's getting results in the first games that he manages, right? So that's what I meant, right? Like in the summer, I'm all for it, right? Pochettino, let's fucking go, right? Mm-hmm. Like the last dance with Pochettino, I'm all for it, right? But right now, I don't think like managers better than him, A, already have a job, B, won't come to us, or C, aren't doing interim stints, right? Because like you won't get Klopp to do an interim stint for 12 games, right? Or like Xabi Alonso or Xavi Hernandez or whoever, right? So for me, like out of what's available in the situation that we are in, I think that's a good appointment, in my opinion. Because like, by the way, because like I agree with you in the sense that having someone who is connected to the club helps like build the atmosphere even in the changing room, right? So that the players can feel what's at stake, right? If they don't already, I hope they do. But if they don't already, then having someone like Redknapp or Robbie Keane or whoever would help us in that sense, right? But in reality, when you look at cold hard facts, in my opinion, we just need someone to organize us and to win 4 games, right? That's it. We need to win 4 games.
I understand
Robbie
that.
Keane, what experience has Robbie Keane got?
Yeah, but by the way,
can I hop in here because
as an example
hang on,
of someone
let us finish his bit and then go.
Yeah.
So I'll answer you, Michael. My understanding is like we brought in Heitinga, right, when Frank was in charge. Now he was as an assistant to him, no connections to the club whatsoever. So what I'm saying is, why couldn't we at least bring someone extra who is connected to the club, who in those moments can, you know, convey to the players the importance of everything, the importance of the club, to fight for the badge? Because I like what, you know, Igor Tudor said in his press conference and stuff, you know, what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve. But ultimately, I'd like someone there that will, you know, that will rouse the fans, that will sort of, show that heart and passion to the players, resonate that heart and passion to the players, to the fans. It would have been amazing.
What can an assistant tell the player if the player doesn't care about staying up or not, right? The players are playing for pride. Nobody wants to be a part of history to get Tottenham relegated. Same thing with a manager. It's not about the money. Any manager, right, wants to get the next job. Nobody wants to go down. So if players don't care, it doesn't matter if it's Redknapp, if it's Tudor, if it's Xabi Alonso. If they don't care about going down, they're going to go down. None of it matters. So I don't think anybody,
to me, then that's a neglect of their duty. Then that's a neglect of their duty. I mean, if I'm working for a business and I don't know what happens to the business, what are we doing here? You're getting paid thousands of pounds a week. You need to care for the club.
But that's my point. I agree. That's on the players, right? Like the players are internationals. They understand what it means.
I don't think it's a case of they don't care, because we've seen these players put in performances. They can perform. It just needs the right person to make it click and get these players into gear and get them performing at least for 3 or 4 games. So
you're spot on. But I think what Michael and I are saying is that in order to get them to click does not require a prior relationship with the Spurs, right? It's just the manager who can come in, speak their language, a manager who played before. Whether he was at Tottenham before or not, I don't think it matters that much for 12 games, right? It's just about how do I get the best out of this group and make them step up their games, right? But whether it's Redknapp, Poch, or Tudor for 12 games, I don't think any of the history matters, because the players have egos. They're internationals. Like, they should not want to go down. And
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something on that then. What makes a player care then? We see it all around different clubs and stuff. What do you think makes a player care about the club? Some players go to Manchester United because it's historically amazing, they've done well, etc., etc. What does it take for a player to care about a club? In your opinion?
In my opinion, just being a professional, you do the best job you can do. It doesn't matter if you play for United or if you play for Wigan. If you're getting paid and you're professional, and that's my issue with the players, that some players don't care, right? So, all I'm saying is, if Romero does not care, it doesn't matter if Redknapp is talking to him or Tudor is talking to him. He just doesn't care, right? So my point is, at least with Tudor, he played the game recently. At least he can relate potentially to what the players are thinking. So he has a better chance of getting through to those players than somebody who's 80 years old and hasn't managed in 15 years. That's my only like, if Romero,
I think DK's got it right. It's mentality.
It doesn't matter who comes in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's my point.
It's mentality. But I think I'll make the last point. It doesn't help that we've got a ton of injuries, so he's got to use what he's got now. Even if he can see that a player's really, certain players aren't cutting the mustard, or certain players, their mentality isn't right, he's got to use what he's got to use. That for me is another problem that he's got to sort of overcome now. So there's a big job.
But I do think we're being a bit. I think it is a bit naive to say though that the players won't know who Harry Redknapp is. I mean, they all watch football. They all know. Of course. Yeah, of course,
You think some foreign managers, I don't think, would know as much.
Van would know, do you think?
And also, players becoming a brief on our history, by the way. That's a fact. No, that's a fact.
A lot of the players will know that Harry Redknapp managed Spurs because he had Modric, Bale, fucking he had all the top players playing for him.
I get where you're coming from. On the other side of it, I mean, again, this is where I feel it goes a bit sentimental, but then this is just where people have different attitudes to life as such. I mean, my attitude, I couldn't give a fuck who the player supports. I don't care who he's shagging at the time, whether it's a bloke, a bird, or a unicorn, or a fucking lamppost. I don't care what he wants to do with himself out of the game. I don't give a fuck what he wants to do here and now. For all I care, once he's done on the game, he can get off and do a back here, have a smoke, and fucking do what he wants. I couldn't give a shit. I don't care if he's got care for the club or nothing. Just do your fucking job. But then that's just my opinion on it. Go on, Benj.
Yeah. Look, you know, I want to jump in here. Has, I've never met you before, mate. It's nice to meet you. Has,
Nice to meet you, mate.
if that is your real name, listen, I've got a sneaking suspicion that the club has no bounds to how low they will go. So, do you have hair underneath that fucking cap?
Me?
Yep, it's fucking Igor Tugor. You lot are scumbags. I cannot believe you did this.
I ain't no better myself, mate.
My man, honestly, has. Listen, don't get me wrong. You're a good-looking fella and all that, but you
Mate,
are.
I've had it all day.
identical. That is uncanny.
You know what? I went for breakfast with some old colleagues today, and the first thing I got, you guessed it, picture of Igor Tudor on a phone next to my face. I've had it all fucking day. So
this club will know no bounds.
I'm just slightly younger, so yeah. I'll take that.
He's not a bad fella to look like, to be fair, is he? Let's be honest. I mean, people say he's got Wayne fucking Rooney. Imagine how I feel.
So does it really matter that much whether the player cares or not about the club? He should just care about his bloody job. Exactly. I know people want it, the honeymoon sort of thing, and it all sound hunky-dory and everything. He loves the club. This is where I think players are more mercenary now than they ever have been. I don't think players are so sentimental and loving about football that they used to be 20 years ago, sort of thing, where it was a football passion through and through. I'm not saying that players ain't like that or even a majority anymore. I just think there's a lot more mercenary players out there. But
unless you come from an academy, nobody cares. Unless you're an academy player.
Even the academy, I bet you most of them didn't support Spurs. I mean, Mike, what do you feel? Is that a sentimental thing? Or should your player care about the club or whatever? Or are you just not bothered as long as he does his fucking job?
I mean, it's nice if they do care, right? Because that probably just sometimes gives them like those few percent that they were lacking otherwise, right? So, and it also feels nice when players are connected to your club, right? Like I've been saying it for the longest. I envy Arsenal because they have Saka, right? Like Saka is like their own born and bred, like, you know, raised through the academy, is a first team player right now. I know he's
like
not been doing great for past year. Yeah, like a Harry Kane for us, right? But we don't have not even Harry Kane, right? It's about just having someone in the playing squad, right? Who came through the ranks, right? Even when we had fucking Oli Skip, right? As bad as he was, like, I enjoyed the fact that we have an academy product who is playing for us, right? Who is contributing in some shape or form. And when you look at vast majority of the Premier League clubs, not vast majority, but a lot of them have an academy product in there somewhere, right? So yeah, but that's just academy products, right? But when you buy players from abroad, right, I don't really give a fuck who they support, right? If they just are invested, right, in essence, like if they have like a professional pride about the job they are doing, right? Because that's the way I look at it, right? Kulusevski, I think, is a Chelsea supporter or Arsenal, right? But I love the bloke, and he gives it his all whenever he is on the pitch, right? Like, do I care that he supports Arsenal or Chelsea? Not really, right? As long as he's doing his job, right? And as long as he has that pride, as I said, about doing his job well, right? But when I see like lazy fuckers like Bissouma doing random shit, right? Then I do care, right? That he's not showing the passion. And on top of that, if he is an Arsenal fan or whatever, then it would just add on top of it, right? So that's like a two-edged sword, I would say, right? It's a nice thing to have, but if you are doing your job, then it's not really important, right? But if you are not doing your job and then you don't care, then it's a massive impact. It has.
You don't need to have pride. I mean, the way I see it, again, it's just where people look on life differently, and there's a lot of things. You know what? I don't give a shit if he gets a picture taken of him in his back garden or walking over to the shop in an Arsenal or Chelsea shirt, whatever. I couldn't give a toss. I know for some people that's really going to hit them hard. That's just where we're all different. But as long as he's scoring as striker and he's scoring 20, 30 goals for me, do I care who he supports or who he's with or whatever? I really don't. But then this again, it's not just Spurs fan base on this that's sentimental. I mean, a lot of people would be sentimental about it. I mean, if it was an Arsenal club and then they see their top man wearing a Spurs shirt, they're going to have a fucking meltdown, a lot of them, or a Chelsea shirt or whatever. I do get it.
Especially them.
I just can't say I give a shit.
But then,
And
if you're born,
I can't
in the last-
understand why it bothers people so much.
but any player born in the last 20 years abroad, if you're Brazilian, you would like Barcelona or like AC Milan, right? Or if you watch the Prem, you're gonna like Man U or Chelsea. That's just the way it is.
Mm.
Most international fans like big clubs because they win,
Mhm.
and the players are the same way. Nobody's gonna be a fan of Bournemouth. Somebody who grows up in Argentina is not going to be watching the Bournemouth or Brentford or even Spurs, most likely, right? They're going to be fans of big clubs. So when a player comes in, chances are he's going to be a fan of a different club. But
Yeah.
most players can separate the two. It's like a job, right? For them, it's a job.
Exactly.
And
It's
that's
not
what
a
it is.
sensible thing.
Not
Now,
everybody's
if
funny.
a player goes and does it, I think it's very stupid that he does it because the majority of the fan base is going to turn on him for it. So I'm not saying a player should do that. I just seriously don't understand why people actually care. But I get that people see life
Feels
differently.
good. Like Michael said, the hope is when
It
the
feels
player
good, yeah.
comes
Feels good
in,
when-
he be like Son. Son built that relationship with the club, and he became Tottenham, even though he was not. He didn't come through the academy. So the hope is a player comes in and actually becomes a legend of the club and builds that rapport with the fans. That's what fans want, and that's why Sonny, in my mind, he'll be over Kane in my mind, even though he didn't come through our academy. And that's what's possible, right? If a player plays for a decade in a club, the hope is that he'll build that relationship with the fans. That's what we need. That's what we want.
No,
Yeah.
I definitely get it. Go on, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, as I said, like, because I was just going through it in my head, right? When you look at club, like Chelsea have Reece James, right? Who is like born and bred, from their academy, right? Liverpool had Trent. They have Curtis Jones, like other guys who went through the ranks, right? Arsenal have Saka, like Miles Lewis-Skelly and other guys. City have Phil Foden. Who else is there in the Manchester United? They have Kobe Mainu, right? Aston Villa, they had Jacob Ramsey went, but they Minks, I think, is from their academy, or at least he's been there for like a decade or something, right? So like every single one of those clubs have this like icon player, right? That or icon or like an urban legend or whatever, right? Like the player that they enjoy watching, the player that just embodies the fan base, right? And I feel like for the not for quite some time, this season it's the first season where we just don't have a player like that in our squad, right? Because last year it was Son, right? And I know Son was on a decline. I know he was playing bad, right? But at least he somewhat like embodied us as a fan base, right? He was the representative of us in the dressing room, right? Before it was Kane, and before it was like any other player. And I
Basically, the connection it can bring between the players and the club.
I think Johnny or Lubo said it, right? That since they started supporting Spurs in like early 70s or something, they always had a hero. Yeah, they always had a hero, right? They always had someone who they looked up to, right? They always had, like, when their kids wanted a Spurs kit, right? This was the guy that they wanted the name on the back of the shirt, right? Whereas I think this season is the first one where I just look at our club and like Van de Ven. Okay, I really like Van de Ven, but like his time at Spurs is short. Same thing with Porro, right?
And that's the problem. I think that's what sort of broke the fan base this season.
Yeah,
I think everyone was looking at Van de Ven as our next like Jan Vertonghen, that type of player, because Jan Vertonghen was lauded by the fan base, and he stayed at Spurs for a long time as well. And when Van de Ven started having a go at the fans, I think that honestly, like, that will be looked back on if we do get relegated. That moment will be looked back on. It was the moment that the fan base was just like, that connection between the players and the fan just completely broke, because he was our shining light out of everyone in that squad, and it broke in that moment.
Poirot as well. Poirot. I thought that Poirot was going to be our future captain for some reason, but the way he behaved this season too, for me, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go and start having a go at the fans and everything and that because they're moaning about or booing that you're playing shit. But that's another thing where it goes into where there's a lot of people who say you shouldn't boo during the game no matter what. Then you can do it at half time or after the game,
when is enough enough, Dan? When is enough enough?
Exactly. Whereas a lot of people think you shouldn't boo full stop even after the fucking game. Whereas I'm all game for like, yeah, you boo them off that fucking pitch, mate. You're the one who just paid £100 for a ticket. Well, they're the ones who ain't doing their bloody job properly.
No. Let's have it right. Let's have it right. A large portion of the fan base got butthurt because Thomas Frank turned around and said the people booing specifically Vicario were not real Spurs fans. Now, given all the problems we had at the time and the fact that that was what the fans chose to grab onto because fuck knows why, blows my mind. I mean, look, again, Dan, I'm with you, mate. Boo the players off the pitch, absolutely. I've got no issue with that. I think they deserve it. But booing players during the game, specific players, especially when on that same fucking pitch you've got Richarlison and we chose to boo Vicario, unbelievable, right? Explain that to me. So I hear what you're saying, but this is where I feel like our fan base are a little bit too fairy-fied. Oh, he called us out. Oh, he wasn't speaking about the whole fan base. He was talking about a section of fans that were booing our player during a game like rival fucking fans.
But he had lack of fans on his side, so even turning against the smallest percentage of fans was a fucking stupid thing to do.
I just think he's protecting his players. I don't deem that as some fun. What do you mean fucking lay off? What, so you got butthurt because he said don't boo the fucking player?
Protecting his players. What's that do? Fucking give him a kiss and cuddle at the same time.
Well, you know what these players are like these days, mate. He's 26 is what they need. Bit of a kiss, bit of a cuddle, they'll be all right.
Oh, mate. You know what this seems like?
Point. Go on, Naz.
You know what it seems like to me? You know, at school when your normal teacher was off and you get the substitute teacher come in and all hell breaks loose. There's no rules or anything. Everyone's just doing whatever they want. No one's listening to the teacher. It's a bit like that. That's how I would sum up Frank's tenure at Tottenham. Is that it's like Frank's come in all nicey, cup of cocoa and hugs all around for everyone at half time. Yeah. No accountability whatsoever. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. You know, and the players have just taken the piss. Players are like, all right, yeah, I'll just do whatever I want then. Sod it. I'm not going to listen to this guy. Have you seen his halftime team talks?
Yeah,
has anyone seen it?
Yeah, I've seen a few clips. It's not all inspiring.
Come on now.
We've got to be best to the second bar. Yeah, a little bit.
That's why Tudor coming in is going to be such a culture shock for them. A lot of those players are going to get a rude awakening. If he's anything like I think he is, he's not going to take any shit from anyone.
I mean, I don't agree with that. Which players are going to get a culture shock?
Well, all of them.
The thing is,
all 13.
Gallagher's played for
yeah, all 12. Whoever's still alive.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've been nannied for the last 8 months or so. You know.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think it's the opposite. I think they've come in thinking, hold on a minute. My last manager from my previous club berated the squad and got them to respect him and everything. And I've come here and Frank's like a wet turd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, exactly.
So I actually think, because I don't think they will get a shock. I think they will be like, finally, we have
that's what
a man with balls, right? As a manager. Because at least I felt like. Do you remember this moment when Van de Ven and Spence just side-eyed Frank and went off, right? Like, if it was, we said it at the time, if it was Conte, Mourinho, Ange, Pochettino,
there's no way it'll be happening.
No way they do that, right? Out of respect, but also if they did, right? I bet you if they did this to Ange would just fucking grab them, like pull them.
All hell
give them a bollocking, right? All hell would break loose. Whereas Frank was just like, okay, I'm sorry.
Do you know what? That leads on to my question, because no one's heard your opinion of it. Look, what I want to ask you is, where do you stand on Frank? Because here's the thing, right? When we sacked Ange, we were looking for someone who was adaptable, someone who was tactically astute, could work with players, improve players. And at the time, I think many of us thought Frank was the man for that, right? For me, the reason why he got sacked is simply he was just out of his depth. Where do you stand on Frank as a manager?
Well, first of all, what we offered him was ridiculous. The salary that he was on, the third highest paid manager in the league.
£1 million a game per week.
Having achieved what exactly at Brentford? What, keeping them up in the league? If we're saying that his resume is based on keeping Brentford up in the league, how is that any good for Tottenham Hotspur? What, we've hired him because he's going to keep us up? Well, it turns out he couldn't even do that. He would have taken us down.
Mate, £1 million a week? What?
Just £1 million per win. So his bonuses were £1 million a win and 300k for a draw.
That's what it works out to with the amount of wins he's had.
No, that's the ratio it works out to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was his salary. Sorry. Because like the biggest salary in the league, I think, is Pep on 15 million a year. 15, not 50, right? And if it was $1 million per week, because that's first thing that I heard, $1 million per week, right? Which would make him earn 3 times as much as Pep, which would have been ridiculous, right? Sorry, it has gone because I was like,
I just feel like, and what others have said as well, there's been no real success, no tangible success at Brentford for us to look at Frank and say, hold on a minute, this guy can come in and actually do something for us. I've not seen that. I've never seen that at Brentford. They've played, I mean, when he was there, they did okay, not great, mid-table side at best. Okay, some people saying he overachieved. I don't think he did. I think he did. They finished where, exactly they were meant to finish. I don't think he overachieved at all. So if that was our expectations as a club, and the board are looking at that and thinking that is the expectation we have, I just think it was piss poor.
So you felt that he had no credit in the bank, which is a fair statement.
No way he had credit in the bank. And the thing is, it runs deeper than this. And I know a lot of people, I mean, Maz included, you're on stream every week, Dan. The problems lie deeper than what manager we're hiring. The problems, lie with the people at top. Okay. Ultimately, they just want to protect, the way I see it, they just want to protect their investment being Tottenham Hotspur. Okay, the football's always been secondary. We've had so many good managers come and go. Yeah, whether they've been backed or not, they just do not care about the footballing side of things. They don't. And anyone could have come in and it would be the same story, but a different version of it, But I just feel like Frank, again, was a really underwhelming appointment.
No, I don't agree with that.
I do, and I'll argue that.
You can't disagree with this point, though. He had no
on.
credit in the bank. He's right.
No, I don't. That's not what I'm disagreeing with. I don't agree that any manager would have come in and had the same thing. Not at all. Conte didn't have the same thing, did he?
No, not the same thing, man. I'm saying they would have been let down by the board in some way or another.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. That it would have been, it would have been a different version of being let down. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's different versions, mate.
I agree.
I'm not saying they would have had the same problem as Frank. They would. Someone like Conte didn't have the same problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Conte got a tune out.
Sorry, I agree.
Conte got the best. In fact, if you look at Conte, what he did at Tottenham, he was working.
Was a miracle. That was literally a miracle.
Had 17. Let's be fair.
That man was working miracles with what he had at the back. The likes of Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer. We had some terrible players at Tottenham. So
midfield was shocking.
Mate, same with Jose.
Sessegnon and Doherty at wing back.
Enough said. Enough said. So imagine someone like Frank if he had those players, right? Frank was not given, but Frank had Van der Ven and Romero to work with. Okay, a first choice central defensive partnership. Okay, Dragusin, not good enough for me in my eyes. Remind me who the other defender is as well. Danso, always going to be a squad player, but largely at the beginning of the season, he had like the crux of his core players there. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it was a horrible mess from the club. Now, obviously, we're trying to rectify that issue. My biggest concern, guys, is where do we say? Obviously, we stay up. I've got a feeling we're going to stay up anyway. But when we get through this period, what next? What next for Tottenham Hotspur? What do we have to do? Because something has to move. Like something has to happen. We can't carry on as we are.
For sure. Do you know what?
I don't care who we get in next. Because for me, it's the board that is the problem. I don't care who we get in next.
100%.
Yes.
Because it's going to be the same shit every time.
But fellas,
up there.
let me ask a question, right? So for me, we've all heard that, the board don't back our managers, fine, and you'll all be fucking right. I've said it myself. However, what is the biggest problem here? Now, I've always said I think it's our wage structure. And Wayne Postecoglou came out and said something we've all sort of assumed over the years. Postecoglou came out and said he wanted, after he finished 5th, Semenyo, Guehi, and Mbuemo. And he categorically said they would not pay the wages. So here's the thing. I want to know, and this is a question to the whole board, is our wage structure one of, if not our biggest problems at Spurs?
Yeah, it has been before. I would say,
yeah, right.
It limits who you can buy, right?
Yeah, but we missed out on a lot of players because of our wage structure. Because at the time, Levy or whoever he was working on behalf of, Lewis family, did not want to, break free of that wage structure. So we did miss out on a lot of players that would have potentially come to us rather than a club with a bit of history. If you offer the right amount of money to a player, sometimes that is more to a player than actually going to Liverpool, United.
Money does talk. Not very often with Liverpool. Not necessarily.
Those players that end up going to the Uniteds and stuff, regardless of what they're being offered, dime a dozen. Yeah, but there are those players as well that genuinely do want to play for the club that they've always dreamed of playing for, boyhood club, whether they've supported them or followed them or whatever. You do get that. But we were never ever able to pull the players based off our history in the last 20 years, at least, anyway.
We have, in that aspect, this is where I argue with that. You see, with the pay structure thing, I agree with wages, yeah? I mean, for me, whether people like it or not, money is what makes the world go round. People could turn around and tell me love. People can turn around and tell me whatever they want. Bollocks. Money is what makes the world go round. Whether it should or shouldn't isn't the point. It does. Everything has a price on it. Not necessarily with money, but everything has a price. And we lost out a lot because of the wages. I don't think it's the only problem now. And when you go and put the money down and offer the wages, whatever else. Okay, if someone like City comes in or someone like Barcelona comes in, PSG, Munich, Arsenal, Chelsea, yep, your chances are very few and far between. But money can still make someone's head turn from, say, if we went against Newcastle and Villa, we offer more wages, there's a good chance that you can turn someone's head on that.
Daniel, I make you right, because look at Ange. We could have landed Semenyo and we could have landed Mbuemo, because at the time people weren't interested in those two.
No, and Mbuemo wanted Man U for different reasons.
Neto,
at
the time when he knew they were interested, but we're talking the season previously.
If we'd have offered something like 50 grand more, if we'd have offered him 50 grand more, then maybe, yeah, but that's a massive step.
I don't think recently. I'm talking about the year that Ange wanted them.
No,
no one was in for either. So,
Dan, what you just said, Dan, the biggest example I can give you of what you just said as a club is Man City. You can't tell me that players go to City because of the wonderful history and the wonderful traditions that they have, because they were relegated. Listen, Man City, right, changed as a football club when they were taken over by the Saudi group or whoever it is. Now everybody wants to go and play at Man City because they've got the money, they've got the manager, they've got the structure. They've done, they've done well, if I'm being honest with you, because not only have they been successful, but they have built a fantastic youth academy as well, churning out players. Look at the players that are playing in their team at the moment. You've got the likes of Oscar Bob amongst other players who are actually playing in the team week in, week out. So it's not only a case of them coming in, buying all the best players and stuff. They are actually churning out academy players as well. You know,
if I can quickly, right? Like, first of all, a bit of a counterpoint to the Man City point you made, right? Because I think we need to change our thinking a bit, because the players that are currently playing in Premier League were born year 2000 or later, right? In their youth, since they remember, Man City are a big club, right? So for us, Man City is a club with only a recent history. For them, Man City is a club that wins shit every single year, right?
No, I'm going to counter that after you finish.
Yeah, but that's at least how I perceive that sort of thing, right? But to answer Benji's point, right, about the wages, I think the wages were our only problem in the past. But right now, we have a whole lot of problems that are bigger than the wages, right? Because right now, we are a club that finished 17th last season, that will finish like 15th this season, right? That the bond between the team and the fan base is broken. The ownership is unambitious, right? And we have a host of problems that even if we approach a player who has a chance to go to United, who will probably finish in the Champions League, and a chance to go to us, who will finish 15th without European competition. So even if we like offer them 30k more or something, I think they are choosing United purely based on the whole context of the club, right? So I think like 5 years ago, when we had Kane, Son, and we were finishing 4th or 7th or 6th, I think then the wage problem was the only problem, right, that we had. Right now, I think it's just one of the problems that we have, right? But yeah, that's on the wages, right? And with the clubs, I think Man City, we need to start. I'm not saying they are already like a huge club in the realms of like Liverpool and United, but I think we need to start looking a bit differently at it, right? Yes, they are paying the best dough. That's one thing, right? But on top of that, I think they already have the prestige, right? They already have the status of sport.
They're winning trophies year in, year out.
Yeah, that's it, right? Apparently, we offered like 50k more for Semenyo to come to us than what City did, right? And he still chose Manchester City. So,
but Michael, to push back on it a bit, when the Saudis took over, Man City started winning because they started paying big players big money. Until then, there were nobody.
I'm talking about now.
Right, right? But that's how it starts, right? Like when you're not a big club, of course. The only way is to overpay. So Man City was overpaying for managers and big players until they built up the reputation.
When did the Sheikhs take over? What was it, like 2009, 2008, something like that, right?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, so like look at it from the perspective of like Mickey van de Ven, right? He was born 2001, if I remember correctly, right?
I agree with you.
Yeah, so when he was 8, when he was getting into like watching football, City started becoming the club they are right now, right? And when he was like 15, they already had like 4 Premier League trophies, right? And like 6 Carabao Cups or whatever, right? So I think that was my point about like looking it from the perspective of the player, right? For those players, City is one of the most successful clubs that is dominating the best league in the world, right?
But like, I guess I'm just saying, if you're in a position like we are, or like City was, they were in a worse position. They were like a league, whatever, one side. You need to overpay for players to get. For us now, if we want to compete, we have to overpay, right? We have to go.
It's the only thing we've got to attract now, isn't it?
Yeah, agreed. Right now we have to fucking slap two times the wages.
We have to look at their model.
Back in the day.
We have to look at their model of how they've done it as well. Yeah. Because although we've never been relegated from the Premier League, they were relegated and come back up and were taken over and everything else. So for me, the reset has to be a takeover. Pump some money into this goddamn club and copy and paste whatever Man City's done. Get some trophies.
Can I just say
through the door, man?
That what we're discussing isn't beyond the realms of the norm in the business world. You know,
No.
when you're trying to grow an organisation and you need to attract the talent, you pay more money.
Exactly. Exactly.
Spurs have never done that. They always thought they could do that a different way to everyone else, and it hasn't paid dividends at all, has it? Really?
No,
Well,
it hasn't at all.
Certainly not in terms of output of winning trophies. I mean, what you could argue is that Levy eventually got us to finishing regularly in the European spots and challenging top four, and that's where you got to give him credit. But then ever since, obviously Conte's gone, that it's all fallen to pieces, and you can correlate that to Levy and Enix's drive to lower the wage structure well beyond that we've ever seen before, and just to maximize profits, and all of their different investment ventures that they're doing, which is madness.
I agree. All right, just want to say thanks to Toa for the super chat, mate. Much appreciated. Igor Tudor is saving us from relegation. In other words, that's a question quickly. Do you lot think he's saving us from relegation?
Don't worry, guys. I will save this club. It's fine. I will single-handedly
Of course you would say that.
I will take us out of this miserable, whatever it is we're going through. Don't worry. I've got this, guys. Yeah?
Come on, my son. We believe in you, Igor.
So do you lot think he's going to save us from the relegation?
Yeah, look, right. Igor, 2-door, 3-door, 4-door, 5-door. I don't really care what his fucking name is.
4-door.
At this point, I am 60-40 we go down, personally.
What, you in favour that we go down?
Yeah.
We're not going down. We're not going down. We're never going
down.
We're not going to go. We weren't going to go down with
Okay,
Thomas Frank.
fine. Tell me where these points are coming from. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Mate, you do realise we need 2 wins for the rest of the season, and we have to rely on West Ham and Forest to get an additional 2 wins. If we get 2 wins, right, and we get a couple more draws, or a few, like, I don't know, say you get 5 draws and 2 wins, right? 2 wins from the last 13 games. That is very manageable. Like I can't see how we don't do
Danny,
that.
I thought our players are shit, Danny. I thought our players are relegation
they are shit, which is why we're only going to get 2 wins and maybe the rest of them are draws or losses.
So just out of curiosity, Danny,
I don't know where this is coming from.
Where are these 2 wins coming
relegated.
from? Where are these 2 wins coming from?
Spurs fans are
Forest at home. Forest at home.
Because the Spurs fans are in overdrive
Leeds
at
at home.
because
Brighton
of
at
everything
home.
going on.
Palace away.
Palace at
It
home.
doesn't matter. Like Palace are not doing very well at the moment, and Forest are doing.
No,
shocking.
they are not. The Palace are not doing well.
Palace is terrible right
They
now.
fucking lost to Burnley.
That's what I just said. Palace are not doing well. Yeah, Palace are doing shit.
And who shows up when teams aren't doing well?
Palace are doing shit. Nottingham Forest are doing shit. Nottingham Forest have got the hardest running out of the whole teams in the bottom 6. They've got the hardest running.
Actually, it's West Ham.
Well,
It's West Ham than Palace, right?
if it is West Ham, then it's even better. But this is why the reactionary from Spurs fans is
Can I say something, right?
Mind-blowing.
People are saying about our fixtures, right? Can you look at West Ham's next 6, right? They have fucking Villa away, City at home, Liverpool away. They have, I think, like Newcastle somewhere in there, and I think like Bournemouth. They have Bournemouth at home, which I don't think they will win, right? Their running is also fucking atrocious.
Look,
right?
the teams that are going to go down, and it has always been the case for the whole season.
They beat us though, right?
Was going to be Wolves, Burnley, and Forest or West Ham. That's it.
It's one of those teams.
People are shit talking West Ham, right? They did beat us, by the way. They drew.
That's not fucking
United.
yeah, but
they
that's
beat
not
Burnley.
They beat us under Frank,
and they nearly beat Man United under Carrick.
No, West Ham is staying up.
That I
West Ham is staying
understand
up.
because I think
they're
everyone's
fighting for the.
Are you saying you was never worried? You was never worried about
never worried, Matt.
Honestly, Danny, let me get this straight.
Worried, not once.
So the whole, all the media outlets out there and everyone, they're all talking about Tottenham relegation battle, this, that, and the other.
Because they need to.
You're saying to me, I was never worried.
They're going to put it in the media.
Millions of fans
because they want to. They want. But can I just say something, right? What the media have done is exactly what they've designed to do, which is create this what it's created for all of you guys. The feeling that you're getting.
And Danny's
all
the only one who's
you see,
seen
you
it.
see,
with the media.
look at it, look at it,
Your
No,
face,
no, no,
look at it.
because there's nothing to do
Look
with
at it.
media.
Danny's a
It's in your
wind-up.
fucking
Beautiful.
face.
It's beautiful.
Get him off. Get him off. He's a wind-up. No, I'm
Big.
just playing.
I
Go.
knew Danny was going to come on and defend Frank. From
Just drop the grenade. If he drops the
I don't
grenade,
know.
and-
How am I defending Frank? What the fuck have I said about defending Frank?
No, Danny,
This is where your
our
selective
players are
hearing
laying down.
comes into play,
Hold on.
Maz, because you don't actually
Danny.
hear. You don't hear.
Danny,
You just hear what you want to hear.
Danny,
you're
it's
doing
not
different-
the results, Danny. It's not the results. The players are laying down. They're not even trying. That's the
Players
biggest
are
issue.
not trying. They haven't been trying for fucking how many years, mate?
No,
They've not tried under every single manager
Well,
up until
last
Poch got
month-
sacked. I don't know what you're
Nonsense.
talking about.
Nonsense.
We've never seen Chelsea and Arsenal performances under any other manager, or even Newcastle last
Mate,
week.
I
The
have
players
seen
are
what
laying
I'm
down.
seeing now. I am
Guys,
seeing what I'm
Bodo
seeing.
Glimt are winning 3-1 against Inter.
Hey, Danny,
Wolves is,
performances
Wolves
we
is
have never
2-1
seen
now.
like that.
And it's
Three.
two.
Come back into it. It's 2-2 as well.
Wolves have just gone
Atletico
one back
Madrid.
as well.
Yeah, Bruges Atletico
Really?
2-2.
Right,
Right?
DK,
And
this is how I know
sorry,
you're
and
talking shit,
Galata
right?
Galata beat
Maz, you
Juve.
talk waffle and shit all the time.
This is how I know you're talking shit, right?
You don't know what you're talking
Name-
about, Maz. You just hear what you want to hear,
aside
mate.
from Last season,
No, let him
name
chat his bit
me-
of shit as
name-
well then,
name
if
me
that's
a
what he
time
does.
when you've seen the players do this bad and we've been in a
Last
relegation
season?
fight or right,
No.
Last
It was never
season?
this bad, Danny.
You don't
Last
listen.
season, what are you
Don't
talking about?
listen.
How many
The
games have
players
we
were
lost?
laying
How
down
many
like this.
games have we lost so far?
Hold on.
I'm asking
Performance
you,
line,
aside
not
from
the
How many
last
games have we
season,
lost
you
so
didn't hear
far?
my question. Aside
10,
from
I
last
think.
season, name me when we've been in a
We lost 22
relegation
games
fight.
last year.
Oh,
More than that.
hello.
Last
I'm
game they were
speaking-
drunk.
I said
And there was
go on.
aside
difference
from
between
last
15th and
season,
17th.
when did we have a relegation fight that you've
We've lost
seen the
11, by the
players
way.
do this?
We're not in a relegation fight.
What?
We are.
Are you?
Nah,
not?
mate. You
am
are
I-
smoking
not.
something, my pal. That's
What's
We're
what
not.
wrong
I'm
with
saying.
you? Like,
We're not.
Danny,
We're
you're
not.
right.
Respectfully, Dan, that's
are you
just
right,
like
mate? Are you
outlandish,
listening to the
bro.
That's
question?
fine. You lot can believe what you want to
No,
believe.
hold on,
That's
Dan,
your
Dan.
opinion, your
To
choice.
be clear,
He doesn't believe it.
right?
He doesn't
We are
believe it.
5 points away from relegation.
So?
And we are 5 points away
Doesn't
from the
want to answer
relegation
the
zone.
question.
If we,
And
if we,
you're
if
telling
we,
me
if we level points or get 1 point behind West Ham and Forest, then we're in a relegation battle. But as we are right now, we are not.
We are.
We're
I'm
not.
sorry, but we are.
Wow, Danny, everything's hunky dory
We're
for
not.
you.
Answer my.
Has,
Wow.
I just see it as
Go on,
a
Maz.
mate.
Hang
So
on,
let me
hang
get
on.
it clear. We've got
Ben, hang
Igor
on.
Tudor,
Ben,
and then we've
hang
got
on.
Thomas Frank.
Maz, ask your question again. I don't think
Right.
everyone heard it.
Aside from last season with Ange, where we finished 17th, name me a time we've been in the position we are now before. When
It was
the last
basically
time?
it was basically partially way through a season when we got Redknapp in, wasn't it? That was the last time we actually looked at it. and
before
thought,
Ramos,
there's
when
a
Ramos
serious
was here. When Ramos was
Right.
here.
when we looked
It's
because
before
realistically,
And when was that? When was that?
2008,
8.
Right.
8 or 9,
Right.
2008,
And how
9
many years
season.
ago was that?
Yeah, a long
Was it
time ago.
17 years
17,
ago?
16, 17.
Right,
Right. So
17
16 years ago. Yeah.
Right. So when you're saying they do it for every manager, it's not true, is it? They don't do it for every manager.
Yes, they do. For the last since Pochettino, Maz, they have done this. The same. We hear the same shit from every manager that comes who gets sacked from Spurs. The players don't want to play under pressure. The players don't like the training. It's always the same fucking shit with these fucking
That's a different
players.
issue, Danny. That's a different
Right?
issue. We're talking
Different-
about
Yeah,
relegation.
But this is why I'm not. This
It's
is why
more
I'm not as
volume to go.
reactionary
Just-
as you
just
guys
ask-
because I see it. The same shit is happening now. I've seen this shit time and time again. Yes, we might be in a worse position, but let's be honest. We haven't had Harry Kane or Son bailing us out for the last 10 years. It's the first time this year we've had no Maverick player. We have got no fucking good player in our squad that's levels above everyone else. And when was the last time we saw that? Honestly, when was the last time we saw Tottenham without a Maverick in their team? When was that? Maz?
Beginning
When?
of the century. Beginning of the
Last-
century.
Exactly.
I've got no idea what
How?
you're
So
talking about,
Tottenham
'cause
have been
you're
used to
waffling on
having a
about all these
star
other
player
points.
over
That's
the
a different
years,
issue,
right?
Danny. That's a
No,
different
but
subject.
I'm saying we don't have a star player, which is why we're doing so bad this season, right?
Right.
Because our attack has been the worst attack I've ever fucking seen at Spurs. It is atrocious.
That I
We've
can
got
agree with.
fucking,
You never
we've
said
got a
that at the
fucking.
start of the
Look, it's the
season.
worst. It's
You never said that
last
at the
season we
start
were
of the
saying these
season.
players are championship players. Nothing's changed.
Danny, and
Nothing
that's
has
why the point
changed.
stands. our players are not good enough, and that's why we're in this situation.
That's why I
we're
didn't
in
want Frank in the
fight.
first place. I never
there is a
wanted
chance-
Frank.
So there
But
is a
we're still in
chance
the
we can go
relegation
down
battle right
then.
now. That's the point.
I don't think we're
If the-
going to go down.
But you're just saying now.
I don't think we're in a relegation battle either.
Danny,
We
not
might,
going
we might
down.
be on the cusp of a relegation battle, but we're not there just yet.
So basically,
Well,
I
can
think
I
we are
ask
the
Danny a
same
question,
point, right?
Dan? Can I
That's
ask you a
5
quick
points,
question?
right?
Can you please sound it out to me, DK? Why you think we're not in a relegation fight and we're not in danger of going down? I need to know why you think that's the case. I need to know your explanation. Your train of thought.
What? Because we're not in a relegation battle just yet, because we're not there just yet. We're still 5 points clear of the zone, right? If we win, if the other teams lose a game and we win one game, we got 8 points clear. That is
but
not relegation
lose-
battle, right?
we
A
lose-
relegation battle is
a big
between
if.
three points,
Hang on.
right? When one game changes by one win by one team, then you're in a relegation battle. As
Danny,
it
but
stands
the way
right now,
saying
we are
this,
not.
mate,
We are on the cusp
bollocks,
of a relegation
bollocks.
battle. There's a fucking
Danny,
difference of
the
being
way
in a
you're saying
relegation
it-
battle.
I want you to
Hang
be
on,
right,
Ben,
but please
hang on,
understand.
hang on.
Sorry, Dan, go
It's
on.
way
not
mate.
you're
about being
saying
right.
it,
I'm just
Dan.
looking at the table. We're 5
Dan,
points from it.
The way you're
That's
saying
naive,
this
mate.
is basically like your mate standing next to you and his bird's just gone home with another bloke, and you're like, mate,
Yeah, but they ain't shagging yet.
hang on.
Yeah, they're
Exactly.
shaking there.
Yeah, but there
She
ain't a
still
problem
loves me.
yet. Why ain't there a problem? Well, we ain't. The other fella ain't fucked her yet, so it ain't a fucking
That's the
problem.
problem
is
on
it?
the fella,
And
mate.
you're chatting shit,
That's the problem on the fella,
You're
mate.
chatting shit. And your mate's now standing there preaching to you. Well, my bird ain't shagged him yet, and you're like, well, she's just fucking walked home with him, fella. And you're like, and he's like, no. Anyway, do you want a pint? Do you want a pint? You're like, mate, sort your missus out. No, she won't do it. Okay, she just went round his house for a fucking cup of coffee, wasn't it? Of course it bloody was, yeah. And it wasn't
The
even
Forest
the
game,
brother.
if we
You know
lose-
what
it's a
I mean?
6-pointer. If we lose the Forest game, it's a what? 2
If
point
we
difference.
lose the next two
One game.
games and Forest win the next two games, then we're in a
If-
relegation battle.
No,
But
but then they're ahead
No,
of us.
then Forest
I'm saying
aren't.
the Forest
If
game
that
is a
happens.
6-pointer.
Yeah, because Forest will be right in it with us. Yeah, I
No,
don't think we're
then,
in a
then Forest won't
relegation
be.
battle
and
right
we
this
will
second.
be.
Does anyone know
Danny,
who Forest
We're
has got?
on the
Does
we're
anyone
on the
know who
verge
Forest
of
has
it.
got?
We're on the verge of it. We're not
Danny,
there
Danny,
just yet.
Wait,
Semantics.
guys,
Can I-
guys. Quickly,
who's going first?
just FYI, if we lose to Arsenal, West Ham beat Bournemouth, and Forest beat Liverpool, which isn't out of the realms of possibility, then
the way
Forest are
Liverpool have
above
been.
us, and West Ham are 2 points behind us. Are we then in the relegation battle?
Wait,
Yes,
say
we
that
are.
again.
Right?
Say
No,
that again.
no,
So
we're not. We're not. We're not.
If
According to
say
Danny, we're
again.
not.
If we lose to Arsenal, right, which
Yeah.
most likely will happen, and if West Ham and Forest win their games, then Forest are above us, and West Ham are 2 points behind us.
Yeah, then we're in a relegation battle.
And then
Ah,
we will
one
be
game
doing
changes
a
everything.
relegation battle on
yourself.
Sunday, right?
God,
Danny, what you need to
Danny
understand,
just
mate.
come on to defend Frank. Danny still
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
Frank here.
Dan,
Might make
basically,
a
what you're
difference.
saying is, yeah, don't worry, it ain't a man until it has it cut off. Yeah, okay, I get your point. Yeah,
Yes,
Until it
let Haas say his
No, what I was
bit.
going to say is, Dan, at the moment, it's open season for Tottenham Hotspur. Clubs around that bottom 6 or whatever it is are out, knowing that we could potentially drop more points. They're all putting a shift in every game. It's open season now. You know, Spurs are there for the taking. It's not just me saying that. There's a lot of people saying the same thing. You know, potentially there's a chance that they could catch up with us.
And a
We
lot of
won one
people,
game
a
at
lot of
home.
people, a lot of people
This
think we're
game
going
on,
to get
mate.
relegated. I don't think we're going to get relegated.
This game on, but
No,
the
I
potential.
don't think
What I'm
we
saying is
are.
the potential is there, mate. The potential is
Yeah,
there. You
I don't disagree with that.
discount. No
So
one
it's
here
a
is saying
relegation
yes,
fight.
we're going to get relegated, but there is a real danger that we could. If we're banking on other clubs to lose or drop points or whatever,
Has
Mate.
all I'm worried about? Oh, one sec.
I think he just spoke to
I
himself.
think his earphones have given up as well.
No, but I do definitely think it is a relegation fight. Okay, we're not
course it
right
is.
in the
Of course
thick
it
It's
of
is.
it.
obvious. It's right in your face. It's obvious.
Yeah. That's there. That's like having an issue with someone and say, oh, don't worry, he ain't punched me
Hey,
in the face yet.
can
so
you
I
hear
ain't gonna
me?
Be unconscious.
Yeah, we
I
can
can hear you guys. I can hear you guys now. Sorry,
Sadly.
my headset died. Yeah. So what you're saying, Has?
After your shite. Fucking
No, what I'm saying is there is the real possibility that it could happen, and that's the thing. Mathematically,
mathematically you could say it happens, but
yeah,
I don't think it will. I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, but that's fine, and that's your opinion. That's fine.
Yeah, and I
accept your opinion. My opinion is, I don't think it will happen as well, but I'm still in the back of my mind fearful that it could happen. I don't think
why I'm not. You know why? I'm not worried about it. I genuinely kind of don't care, to be honest with you. That's kind of why I don't really worry about it, because regardless of what happens, right, nothing is going to change at this football club until the ownership changes what they want from this football club. It doesn't really matter. Like, if we go down, what they're gonna lose money, and then I know we're gonna have to come back up, and it could take years to come back up.
Well, how are we going to pay for the stadium if we go down?
Yeah, we're fucked.
That's already covered.
No, that's
already covered.
But our payment structure is.
But the thing is,
the players are going to leave.
Yeah, they might leave, so they should. To be honest with you, most of these players have to leave, right? But I don't think we're going to get relegated. I just don't. If we were to actually get relegated, then whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? It's the fucking clubs.
You backed Frank.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody's fault. It's not
100%. It's on
you.
You,
the players as well.
100%.
The players are good enough to stay up. The players should not be getting relegated.
I blame the fans for backing these dog shit players. You lot
I
backing
agree.
these fucking shit cunts.
I mean, when it comes down to it, it's not that we're just looking over it as in, oh, mathematically it could happen. This one, there's a serious chance it can. When you looked at it at one point last season, you could say, yes, mathematically we could still go down, but there was no relegation real battle in it, sort of thing. It was already done and dusted as such, to an extent. Mathematically, okay, but someone had to win like 4 on the trot and we had to lose 4 on the trot, whatever. It's not quite like that. Right now, it's as soon as we lose 1 and West Ham win 1, and if Forest do all right, we're up shit street. Pressure is an understatement. We haven't been in that sort of pressure.
Dan,
these players haven't had this sort of pressure of where 2 points is looking on their ass, basically.
Oh, yes, they have. A lot of our players have been relegated already, by the way. You might want to look into that. A lot of our players have been relegated.
That's why we're there, mate. They're used to it.
Exactly that. But do you know what? Here's the thing. Well, I look at our next 4 games and I see almost 3 guaranteed losses. We've got Fulham, who I think we'll lose to. We've got Liverpool and we've got Arsenal.
People might scrape a point. People forgetting as well. Our squad is decimated, and the club didn't back. I don't care who the fuck the manager was. They should have brought in players in that January window.
So the club is shit. The players are shit. The squad is decimated, but we're not in no relegation battle.
Still think we'll manage to get the points.
I think we will as well.
Points to stay up.
We are in a relegation fight.
You can say that.
There you go. So you was wrong.
And again, it's not even the results. It's that we're laying down to everybody. We the players don't have any pride in what they're doing. It's just embarrassing. The performances are embarrassing. Otherwise, they'd be like, we'll be fine.
Or it is that Frank was just a poor manager for this football.
But it's in the players, Maz. The players have to play for themselves.
That is always the But this is.
We could use that for excuse for every club then.
It's the same for every single club. It is an excuse. We hear this for every single club.
Why is it that we only hear Maz?
Whenever the clubs,
whenever
they lose, right? Everyone always says, "Oh yeah, but the players should have pride. They should play for the." Obviously, because they're professional footballers.
But our players are better, Maz. But look at
I know the players
are better. Back 4. People say Romero is elite. Van der Ven.
He's not elite.
Our back 4 was there for most
healthy. I don't think
the whole season.
Romero is elite, but I think that he's a quality.
He's a bozo.
Defender
Exactly.
When he wants to play.
And that is a problem, isn't it?
Exactly.
Exactly. But there's no denying, right, that Frank tactically this season and with his with the way that he set us up has caused a lot of the problems himself.
Oh, of course. There's no arguing. Look, all I'm saying is up until 2 months ago.
When you go on sorry, Eugene. When you go on a run, when you start losing and things start going wrong, and this has gradually happened right throughout the season. This hasn't been like we've fallen off a cliff straight away.
Well, we started off all right, didn't it?
Yeah, it's gradually got worse and worse and worse because the players lost faith in the manager. So they started really well, and then it's gradually deteriorated.
Players didn't lose faith. The players just got more and more injured, so we had less players to pick from, and there was more being asked of them.
No,
that's the problem.
Performances
We
have been
finished
shit.
fourth in the Champions League group
it's
stage. You think that's fucking an easy thing to do?
That is the reason why I'm correct.
Given the run we got,
It's
yeah.
not the injury.
Yeah,
Yes.
because the players wanted to play more in the
Yeah,
Champions
and
League
then
because
whose
it's the
responsibility
bigger,
is
it's the
that?
bigger tournament
Them
where
not listening to the
the
manager.
eyes are on you
They're
even
not
more
listening
so
to
in
the
the Premier
manager.
League.
They're not listening to the
Porto
manager. then,
destroyed
are
us.
they,
Monaco destroyed us. We got lucky. The Villarreal own goal. That we got points. We were lucky almost every game.
What did we do to
Isn't it
Borussia
funny that
Dortmund?
all
What
of
did
a
we do to
sudden it's
Borussia
all the
Dortmund?
players' fault? Now it's Frank.
What did we do to
Right?
Borussia
But-
Dortmund?
That's one.
We had
One
a good
game.
game with them.
Yeah,
That's
what
one
did we
good
do to
game.
Frankfurt?
What do we do, Frankfurt?
What do you mean? What does that
I'm
mean?
trying to say that the players, right? Yeah, these players decide to turn up when they feel like it, which is what I've been saying the whole fucking time, right?
Yeah, and when
in the
that
Champions
happens, whose
League,
fault is
that
it?
you can see the players
and
want to
when
play
that
more,
happens, whose
right?
fault is it?
Yeah, but no, you're not getting it. If they
No,
can
you're not
fucking
getting
do
it.
that in the Premier, if they can do that in the Champions League, then what they should be fucking doing that in the Premier League,
Yeah,
and they
and
weren't
what's-
doing it
different
because they
style
didn't
of
want to
football.
do it.
And
That's
what
the
is
difference.
cause? What is the cause of that?
The players, it's their fucking
No,
mentality,
The
man.
cause is the manager. That's
It's not the
It
manager.
It is
Nothing
Well,
to do with the manager.
What is a manager, Danny?
Nothing to do with
What
the manager.
is a manager, Danny?
It's nothing to do with the manager.
What is a manager? I'm asking.
So
you a
are we
question.
saying then it's the manager's fault that we beat Borussia
Oh my
Dortmund
God,
at home?
What is a manager?
A team that's lost
What
3
is his
times all
job?
season. Is
Well,
that- is
what's
that-
his
is
prime
a
function? Is
manager?
what he's asking me. What's his prime function?
What is
Go
a
on,
manager?
tell me, enlighten me, Maz.
It's
Want me to do it?
It's to instruct the people what to do. They tell
Right.
them
So
what to
if
do.
the manager tells you what to
get the
do,
best
and the
out of
players
his
don't follow the
players.
instructions, whose fault is it?
the
To
manager's
motivate.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's
Absolutely
not.
ridiculous.
It is.
That is
Have you
such
ever
a flawed.
worked for anyone in your
Yes,
life?
Maz. If
Have
a
you ever
manager
worked
tells
for
me
anyone?
what to do and I'm not doing
Have you
my
ever
fucking
managed
job,
people?
I have done. Yes, Maz. If
Right,
a manager is
if
telling
your team
someone
is
to
not
do
performing-
something,
if your team is not performing, right, and your boss says to you, "Why isn't the team performing?" Why does he ask you and not the individuals first?
say it again. Go on.
If your team is not performing, right, why does your boss ask you why it's not performing first?
Because he's looking at your performance, right?
It's your responsibility and your accountability to make them
That one
perform.
is your job,
Right.
but it's not
Correct.
just
Right.
the manager. It's
Right.
the players playing
No,
shit.
it's
as
not.
well.
I'm
The
not-
manager's
Maz,
absolutely
let
not.
me flip that then, Maz.
When you,
Hang
when
on,
you
let Maz
have-
finish. Let Maz finish.
But when you have them turning up when they want to, like what Danny's saying, right? Which I agree with, right? They were turning it on when they wanted to turn it on. That ultimately becomes a responsibility to the manager because they're not performing at the level they should be performing in the other leagues, right? That is the manager's fault. It's the same example as what Stel said about coaching. When it's an individual player not performing, that is a coaching fault. When it's the whole team not doing it, and you know that the team can do it because they demonstrate it in Europe, that is the manager's fault.
Yeah, but the problem is, Maz, you see, you're taking out so many fundamental parts of this whole Tottenham and this whole season and last season because there's so many elements to having a team play consistently well, right? I've said from the beginning these players cannot do it on a consistent basis because our squad is not deep enough. We don't have the quality, right? So they can perform, and I've said this a million fucking times. They can perform to a high level on occasion. And the occasions they decided to turn up was on the biggest occasion, which was the Champions League, because that's the competition that everyone wants to play on. Arsenal, for these players, they
Chelsea game and
didn't give a
Arsenal game.
shit. They didn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit about it. You could see they didn't give a shit. None of them gave a shit.
Well, yeah, but
that was also part of the manager. Yes, of course, right?
Yeah,
There's no doubt about that, right? But what I'm trying to say is everything that I've seen under Conte, under Poch, under Nuno, under Ange, under Frank, it's all the same fucking thing. That players decide to play when they want to. When they don't like it, they down tools. They don't play for the club, the badge for the shirt they're representing. They don't play for that.
with this.
And then a manager gets sacked. It always
Yeah.
fucking
I agree
happens.
with that.
Right?
Well, there's a reason to it.
My point is all of this can only change when the ownership changes their culture.
We know that,
right?
We know that.
Problem,
we
this
know
is
that,
why I
but
say.
Danny,
this is why I say, Maz.
But Danny, what you do, where your argument doesn't have credibility, is when you blame everything on that point. Like we've never fallen this far down with the problems that we've had in the past.
A team this bad before and this decimated with injuries. Any club that has the amount of injuries that we have
at the start of the season that you went on and I showed you the video that you went on We Are Tottenham TV, right? And you were bigging up the manager and you're bigging up this squad.
No, I wasn't, Maz. That's a fucking lie. I was the one saying.
Seeing you say
fine,
that.
go and get me that fucking video then, because I was the one.
Right,
I was the one. Brian Daigle. Brian Daigle.
The message I sent to you.
Okay, Maz, send it to me and I'll bring it up.
Show me.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I didn't want. No. He can do what he wants because I was the one saying that I wanted Ange to stay. I didn't want Ange to get sacked. People were kept telling me and going on and banging on about me, saying, "Oh, why do you not want to back Frank and Frank this, Frank that?" And I was saying, for Ange should have been given the chance because he deserved it. Frank was a sideways step. He always was a sideways step.
Did you
never
say that?
But the thing is, no one, Danny, is saying that it's not the players.
Mate, these players
no
are the worst Tottenham team I have seen.
You need to understand. I've been to
Spurs.
games this year. You need to understand what we're seeing under Frank was coached a lot of it. And listen, I've been with you, but listen, no. Listen,
I've been to games as well, mate.
To an extent. No, I know you have, but I'm with you to an extent. No, but because I've seen it with my own fucking eyes. TV's one thing, being there.
Oh my mate, I'm a season ticket holder.
Right, okay, fair enough. Right. Great. Then you should understand more than anyone else. Then you should understand more than anyone else. What we're seeing is coach. And Maz is right. Hold on, but Maz is right when he says what is a coach's primary function. To motivate and to get the best out of his players, and unfortunately, look again. We all agree.
Players
with managers
score goals. Then who's
I know this, but managers
when they can't hit a ball or they miss open shots. Fine. Or tell smacks it into the atmosphere because he can't control the football.
We get one shot a game, Danny. We get one shot a game. So look, last season
so we might get 5 shots if we have a different manager, but they're still gonna miss it because they can't score because they're shit.
We still take some shots. And Frank is not putting him in position to score a goal or to take shots. The first 9 games, people were telling me that we're good. Our leading scorer was own goal. It was all set pieces and own goal.
Is going to change under this manager.
Yeah, but look, the way to look at it,
even though I still believe is somehow we're going to get the points to stay up.
The way you look at this, I think, is the way to look at it. Yeah. I mean, so many people have debated over the past 2.5 years, 3 years that I've been doing this, that this is the main problem, that is the main problem, this is the main problem, and having arguments about it. When we actually all look here and look at it seriously, the main problem is everything is fucked at top.
There is no main problem. There are.
The one at the top is the owners, yeah? But the rest of it's a walking shit show on its own as well. But we can't change the owners. You ain't going to change the players in a matter of a season. You've got that takes a good 2-3 years. The one who cops it basically is the one you can change to hopefully get something a bit better, and that's a manager. Whether it's sentimentally right or wrong or what should or what shouldn't, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Welcome to the real fucking world. It's the manager that cops it because he ain't doing his side of the job in getting the best out of the players. Even though we can blame a lot on the players, yeah, at the end of the day, he ain't getting the best out of those players, so he gets the sack. The rest of it, we can't change, and it don't change in 5 minutes. So that's why the manager basically cops it every time, even if it's down to the players being lazy, being pricks, being this, being that. You can't go and change like 22, 30 players in the team, whatever. You can only sell a couple, get a couple in. There's only so much you can actually do.
You can if you're an ambitious club.
You can't do it all in one fucking window.
Yeah, not in one window, but you can still do it a lot more.
The easiest thing to do to hit and hope for a few points is change the manager, is it not?
It's another sideward step. That's all it is right now. That's
I'm not disputing that. I mean,
if you can fire players, we fucking should. But unfortunately, it's the manager that cops it because he is at the top of the fucking pyramid.
How many first team players do you expect a manager to get in one season? Frank has got 5 first team players.
I think we did very well, and they all five of
Right.
them could have walked into the first team.
Right.
Still wasn't nowhere near enough. Man.
No, it wasn't, but I don't think listen,
It wasn't even the bare minimum.
Hold on. You weren't calling for a wholesale change of 11 players at the start of the season.
I was expecting us to replace Son after Son was leaving. That's what I expected.
You said
we sold
was
a gold.
going to be revolutionary to the club. You said
When did I say
Muwani is at least twice as good.
Maz,
as
you just
Richarlison.
make up shit, don't you? You just love to make up shit.
Right.
You really like to make up fucking words.
Don't make me find the fucking
I said
because I've got
Xavi
it and I sent
Simons
it to you.
will one day be a very good player for Spurs. I still stand by that because you can clearly see the kid has got fucking talent, right? And he's got a football brain. He's the only one in our team.
Tottenham TV.
Oh,
It is
show
all
me
on
then,
there.
Maz. Where did if I said revolutionary, Maz, I said for the long term. I didn't say right now.
Oh, right. Okay.
So stop
Okay.
fucking making up shit to try and
I'm
prove
not
point because you
making
can't
up
say
shit.
shit because you just talk shit.
You
Now,
know
now.
what? It's really amusing that you're trying to rewrite history all the way through the
It's
season.
amusing that you're lying about history. That's what's
I'm
amusing.
lying. Oh,
You have
am
to
I
lie
really?
to try and beat me in
Am
an
I
argument
really?
because you can't. You just have to lie instead.
I'm gonna find
So
the
keep
video,
lying,
don't you
Maz.
worry. Oh, don't you worry.
Come on, girl.
Go on, find it.
I will.
Go on, Mike.
Exactly, Mike. My faults exactly.
Mike, you might want to turn on the mic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had my mic muted. That probably explains it, right? Yeah, but
Right.
what I wanted to
Okay.
say.
Fans should still be excited
off,
for the future.
Hey, come on. Hey, no. Hey, Mikey,
Right.
go on, mate. Go on,
No.
go on.
You're saying I'm lying.
Let Mikey
One-
go, and then we'll go
one
back to you, Maz.
exception-
2 minutes.
it's one
I'll have to
exception.
find some
Mikey,
stuff
go.
about what you say, man.
Right, there's one exception that I will not ever let pass is when people say I lie, right? Because I don't lie. One, it's against my religion, right? And two, I'm very strong believing the truth will set you free. But you went on We Are Tottenham TV, and the title of the video is Spurs fans should still be excited for the future, right?
Yeah.
And when you watch that, yes, you do criticize players, but you also go on this massive, long big up of the team, Frank, and the individual players that we brought in, right?
Yeah.
So
I
don't
disagree
say
with
I'm
that.
making shit up.
No,
Danny,
but
I do take offense.
Do you want to know what I
to it.
said, Maz? Do you know what I said?
I
I
know
said
what
it's
you
the
said 'cause I
best
saw it in the
transfer
video.
window. I said it's the best transfer window I've ever seen in terms of the quality of players that Spurs brought in. But I also said it was not enough. And then on
Right,
top
but
of
that's
that,
a totally
we had Dominic
So now
Solanke.
you're changing the argument.
No,
Now it's
go and
it's
listen to
the
it,
best
Maz.
transfer
Go and
windows
listen
we've
to
ever
it.
had.
Go
but-
and listen to it.
I did listen to it. Now it's a
Go and listen
best
to it.
transfer
You didn't listen
window
to it
we've
just
ever
now,
had,
did you?
But it's not enough. And
Go and listen to it,
because your
Maz.
manager
No.
Frank Wank
Go and listen
messed
to it.
everything up.
Stop
you're like,
lying,
oh,
go listen
everyone's
to it.
rubbish. Everyone's rubbish.
Stop lying and go and listen to it, Maz. Come on. Come on.
I'm not going to do it now. I'm on the show, am
Yeah,
I?
go on, do it now. Let Michael talk.
Go, Michael.
No,
This fresh coming from you, Dan, for fuck's sake. Go on,
You
Mike.
utter fraud. Dad, you utter fraud.
No, what I wanted to say, right, and that's a question to all of you, right? If we were sitting 10th right now, right, like bang in the middle of the league, would you still be Frank out if we did?
Yes.
And the reason why I say this, right, because for the past like 1.5 months, I actually feel a bit of sympathy towards Frank, considering the injuries we had, right?
Mike, still in fourth, say,
No.
for Champions League, would you say, yeah? So if we're still in fourth in the
No, I
Champions
said
League-
10th. I said 10th.
No. In the Premier League, but we're still doing well in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Okay,
Champions
yeah.
League 4th and
Okay,
Premier
okay.
League 10th, right? The reason why, let me put my point through, right?
Mm.
Like, for the past 1.5 months, I felt sympathetic towards like Frank, a bit of sympathy because of the amount of injuries we had, right? When you are facing a fully fit Newcastle squad with 13 players, 3 of which are goalkeepers, then I am kind of like, yeah, what the fuck are you supposed to do, right? If like you don't even have players to change the game, right? So the way I look at it, right, and I said the same thing with Ange last season, right? Ange and Frank had plenty of time at the beginning of the season when the players were fit to get enough results so that if an injury crisis like this one happens, they have enough credit in the bank, right? And the way I look at it, like Frank lost to Fulham at home, right? He drew with Wolves at home, right? There were a couple of games where even no matter what we think about the quality of the squad, our squad was still good enough to win those games, right? So that's why I posed the question, right? If we won those games, for example, if you won against Wolves, Fulham, and like one other match, let's call it, right, which
West
is
Ham.
8 points more. Yeah, and West Ham, right, which is 8 points more. Where does 8 points get us?
Is that
let me
mid-table or just
check
above
it.
mid-table? Ninth,
Yeah,
maybe?
8
10th?
points get us from 29 to 37, which is 8th,
Yeah.
right? Would you be Frank out at that point? Because like that's the way I look at it. For me, Frank
Same,
deserves
yep.
to be sacked on the basis of what is going on right now, right? For us to be 29, like to have 29 points and be 16, that's fucking unacceptable, right? But it's just an 8-point swing in theory, right? So like, would you be Frank out if we were 8th in the league? And I see that Eugene is like nodding his head in.
Go on,
Yes,
I'll
right?
go
So-
after you, Eugene.
Yeah,
Go
go
on,
on, no, go on, Haz.
Yeah.
Haz ain't said nothing for a while. So go on, Haz. Give your side in it first.
Oh, no. Oh, I was just going to say quickly, I was Frank out from the very beginning, even when we were winning games, because Frank is weak. It's not even about the record or tactics. He is a weak manager. He has no charisma or personality to motivate players. So even if we were sitting 7th or 8th, for me, a long-term manager of a big club, you have to be strong, you have to have conviction, and you have to have some balls and personality. And Frank, as we talked about with Spence and Van der Ven, he doesn't have the strength. Players don't respect him. So regardless of record, of tactics, of anything else, he's not a big club manager. He's a mid-table
I get
manager.
that.
He's a good coach who'll do a good job at a mid-table club. For us,
When he changed, when with Arsenal,
he's
we
weak.
didn't put our 100% in, or even 10% in, if I'm going to be honest, and stuck 11 men behind the ball. That's when I started proper questioning Thomas Frank, because he was actually someone I was quite happy to get in there. And if you
It's a
don't,
personality, man.
the thing is
Personality
with players
there.
and managers, they've got to come up to the next level before you can judge them on the next level. I just want to say a big thanks to the super chat on Ledley's knees. Much appreciated. Not sorry for Thomas Frank. 2 more wins and he's still here. Very true. I get your point. Fair point. Haz, go on. What's your say on all this? You stay quiet for a while.
I mean, I agree with what Maz was saying as well, but I don't agree with Danny's point earlier on about us not being in a relegation battle. I just feel like the battle is real, and we can't rest on our laurels, mate. We really can't. We can't just be so blasé about it and say, "Oh, actually, yeah, we're going to be all right. Nothing's going to happen." And you've both highlighted deep-rooted problems at the club as well. So things obviously like need to change. For me, if we finished 10th, would it have made a difference whether we kept Frank or not? I think it would have given him a stay of execution simply because of all the injuries that we've got at the moment. Finishing 10th would be bloody amazing.
Wolves scored. Wolves scored.
2-2.
How much time left? Oh,
2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes.
Who's Wolves playing?
Bottle jobs.
Arsenal.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Butlers again. Ole, ole.
Hang
Guys,
on,
that's
it ain't
90.
the end yet. It ain't the end yet, but
90 plus
Yeah,
4.
there is still
Yeah,
like
I put a bet on Man City to win the title. I had no doubt that Man City were going to win the title. I still got that bet on.
Guys, this makes the weekend game massive.
If they draw this, I fucking off in 3 minutes. I need to visit Liganer, right? And see Liganer watch.
Look,
Where's Stell? He'd be loving it right now.
I'll come to that Arsenal game next, is what I'll go to, yeah. But Haz, what you're basically saying is that if Thomas Frank would have had a different attitude at the start and gone to the
We won a major European trophy, and that's when you're looking at the club and thinking, right, we need to push on from here. We've got major honours, right? This is our chance to now build on it and compete, you know, for other honours as well. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. It's what's
Sorry,
happening?
I'm just laughing at the screen and that with this poor little kid who looks like he's just lost someone.
Yeah,
Very close to
they are showing the Arsenal fans in the stands going like.
No, so right, where I go with this one then, yeah, is I was already saying the other week that I think there's a chance we get a 2-2 draw out of this. Reason being is because every bit of pressure, even if they did win the Wolves game, whatever, is still on their side.
Yeah.
I mean, at this moment in time, Tottenham is the team you want to be playing, especially when we're at home as well, and we've got one home win. Everything is in Arsenal's favour. Top of the league, got the best squad, got the best club, got everything out there. Everything is on their side. There is not one thing in Spurs' favour, except all the pressure is on Arsenal as far as I'm concerned. And at this time of year is usually when Arsenal start bottling it and when Man City seem to start stepping up a gear or two, basically, yeah? That's what I've seen over the seasons. And if they actually fuck this right up, I mean, I'm about 2 minutes behind other people on here, but with me, it's 96 minutes. If they go and get a draw out of this now, the pressure is going to be mind-blowing on them. Because if they then don't go and get a win against us,
that's over. That's over.
Favor.
If they don't win against us, that's over.
Everything is on their side. The pressure is...
What, with 11 games left?
The pressure is on Arsenal in every which way possible. There is no pressure on us. If we go and lose it, the manager ain't even get grilled. As long as the players put a bit of effort in, he won't even get grilled for it because no one was expecting to win and everyone expect or even draw and get a beating. The pressure is 1,000,000% on Arsenal, and now it is even 1,000,000,000% on Arsenal, basically.
Dan, imagine,
they can't even afford to draw this.
Dan, imagine we beat them. Tudor pulls off
or we get a draw even.
An Igor masterclass, right? And we beat them, and then they lose the league. Tudor will go down in like
legend,
right? Legend. Yeah. Right. In 10
give him a
years'
statue.
time,
Give him a fucking statue.
Yeah, literally.
In 10 years' time, like he'll be going on Talk Sport, and they'll be introducing him as Tottenham legend Igor Tudor.
Tottenham legend Igor Tudor.
The guy who stopped Arsenal win the title.
You know what I mean? And this was before this game. I was saying that the pressure is completely on them in every which way. Now, if they end up drawing this, as I say, I'm on 98 minutes now. Yeah, if they end up drawing this,
how many minutes did they add on?
Yeah, for fucking hell, that's 2 minutes over the other time. Like, what?
But if they end up drawing this, the pressure is on them even more now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's over.
I think
there you go.
I think Billy's right.
They are scrapping. Fuck! Punch someone, please. Punch someone. Someone get a red, please.
Billy's right in saying that if Wolves can get a draw, why can't we get a draw? You know, they're bottom of the table at the moment. They've got a worse squad than us.
True.
We are playing in a North London derby this weekend.
But
okay,
you've got to remember we are decimated. We've got 11 fit players.
I know we're decimated, mate. But at the same time, some heart, some passion, some energy goes a long way in a North London derby.
I agree with that.
It then becomes not a tactical game. It becomes a battle of attrition,
basically.
Exactly. You go out there and you're battling, mate. Forget about the tactics and everything else. You go there, you fight for the ball.
Look at what Brentford did. They stuck it. They took it to Arsenal, and look what happened.
Exactly, mate. So
the same thing with Wolves today. I don't know if you guys were watching the game, but Wolves just fucking went at them.
That's in the
second half, right? But
I think people are seeing it now. If they go at Arsenal, you can get a result against them.
Can I just say, Danny?
And that's why when we play them.
The one thing that I would like to see this weekend, right, despite everything that's happened, and now I'm talking as the manager, by the way, okay? I want to see the fans come out and back the team this weekend and give me those vibes when under Conte, we absolutely murdered
that was the best North London derby I've ever been to.
There was fireworks going off outside, smoke bombs, whatever you want to call it.
It was the whole thing after at the beginning of the match, Paz.
Exactly.
It was just...
We need to bring those vibes this weekend, man. Like, honestly, we really need to just get behind the team this weekend. Sing from minute 1 to minute 90. If we go a goal down in the 5th minute, don't just shut up. You carry on going. Make it. Have you ever been to the Galatasaray Stadium in Turkey?
No.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable atmosphere.
Right. You need to make it like when Juve found that last night because they got battered 5-2. But when you go into that stadium, it doesn't matter how inferior that team is, those fans are intimidating as hell. That's what we need to make. Like, and that's another big thing for me as well. Criticism of the club and maybe the fans to some extent is that we don't make enough noise in that ground. I know this season's been different because the team's not been performing, but even when we were performing, it just seems so soulless, mate. Like people just a few chants and then it's done. Oh, I'm just going to go and grab a beer from the world's longest bar and come back. Blah blah blah. It's like, mate, make some noise. It's a fucking stadium. Do you remember what White Hart Lane used to be like? I couldn't even hear myself.
I go to Charlton
sometimes, right? And the amount of noise that they're making Charlton in that stadium, it's almost half the size of the Tottenham Stadium. And you think, wow. And I think to myself, I wish Tottenham Hotspur were like this again. I wish they made this much noise and really roared the players on.
Yeah. Can I be honest with you, right? Because last season I was at the stadium, my first ever game, right? And whereas like the whole, and this will sound funny, but the whole experience of going to the match was brilliant, right? Meeting with Stel and other guys, like going for a drink and meeting with you, Danny, and all the others, right? And just being in the stadium, it was just the wow effect was there, right? But if I were to be like that honest, right? The atmosphere in the stadium was fucking shocking. Like,
Michael, I was thinking.
Sorry, Eugene, my local team, right? My local team got relegated last season, right? And right now we are like 8th in the second tier, right? And there is barely like 10,000 people maybe turning up to a 40K, because our stadium is 45,000, I think, in capacity, and there is barely like 10K showing up, right? And I kid you not, it's louder there than what it was in the Spurs stadium, right? And it's not only louder, but it's also more constant, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like
Do you know what it is, Michael?
Sorry, Dan, quickly, right? I enjoyed different things whilst being in the stadium at Spurs, right? Because like I think when I was there, people are talking about the game a lot more, right? There were just random people around me, just tapping me on the shoulder and asking me about what I think about what's going on the pitch, right? And there is a lot more like commenting, right? Like I think Brits generally like talk a lot more during the game about what's happening on the pitch, whereas here it's more like everyone is just sitting, not talking to each other, but we chant, right? That's a different like approach to the game. But like atmosphere, it's like I barely witnessed like maybe 10 Spurs games where the atmosphere was like, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. And the best one was the North London derby you guys talked about under Conte, right?
Yeah,
this whole like everything around that match, before the match, after the match, all the chanting, and we won obviously. So all the chants about like, is there a fire drill, and North London is ours.
Also, it was Conte like taking the piss out of Arteta.
Yeah,
do you remember?
yeah,
like that was the best.
That
was the best. Saying they're scared and shit.
Michael, I was saying the same thing when I went last season with my son. I was telling everybody also last season, best part was meeting like Philpi and Daigle and Deji and like, all the boys. The game was dead. My son was asking me why nobody's cheering. He was the only one. It was like everybody's drinking beers and eating. It was silence. So I was really disappointed.
At the West Ham game, it was terrible. I've been to a few stadiums in my life, and I would say the most passionate one that personally I've been to is Signal Iduna Park, Borussia Dortmund. The atmosphere at that place, when I see them play Munich, and also who was the bloody other one went to? Their name's right on the top of my head, and I can't bloody think of it. It's their bloody Arsenal, basically. And the atmosphere there did not stop during Schalke 4. that's basically the German equivalent of Spurs and Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's how them two hate each other, Dortmund and Schalke 04. The atmosphere there is, I wouldn't necessarily say intimidating in a violent way, but they don't stop under any means or manner. Our fans, yes, we do, but there is a reason for it as well. You can only support something that shit for so long before it starts breaking your own personality, basically.
Yeah.
And where it has just been shit, so consistent for so long, the players need to know about it.
Shit. Yeah,
That's why when
the
you see
fans,
like
the players
away
need to
end-
take some of the shit as well. They can't just take all the fucking credit when it goes right and not expect to get booed. Now, if they have 2 shit games and get booed off the pitch, now that's going OTT, yeah. But when it's been about 20 shit games in a row, sort of thing, can you really blame fans for not necessarily exactly? But can you really blame fans for not supporting the club as such? No, the players need to know about themselves. But this game coming up, I agree. Arsenal are there for a draw, at least, I think, yeah? And I said this before this game. Now this has happened. They're 5 points clear. Now we need to rely on City to basically get a win, and they've been shaky as well. But Arsenal, every time they've had a chance this season, have fucked it up. They should be about 12 points clear of City now. And they keep fucking it up every time. This is why I said before this game, I think we can get a dirty, nasty, filthy little 2-all draw, 1-all draw out of this through not playing nice football, whatever else. Just get into them, put the pressure on them, be fucking dirty with them. If you don't get the ball, get the person, whatever else, yeah? Because now the pressure is 1,000,000% on Arsenal. If we lose, fuck it. We still got we ain't got nothing to play for anyway, except we're trying to stay up. But that game, everyone was expecting to lose anyway. The pressure is on them. So what have we now got to do to Arsenal on Sunday? What have we got to do to get a result?
What you said, basically.
And for me, a draw is a result. Go on, Mike. You were saying, sorry.
No, basically what you said, right? Because like this football skill-wise, we are, let's be honest, we are inferior to them and a lot inferior, right?
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. But I think we can do the like heart and passion and power of friendship thing, right? Just go out there, kick the shit out of them, right? Don't get red carded, obviously, but just kick the shit out of them, right? And get a scummy goal. And I think we can.
We need to press them like we've never pressed before.
Don't be
press
scared.
them. Go after every second ball, first and second ball, relentlessly.
Yeah.
Right. We'll get under their skin, and then something may happen.
That's exactly what we need to do. These players need to know that this is a moment. This could be a moment of salvation. I'm not going to say for the entire season, but it will go a long way to sort of making it up to the fans. If we can get a result against Arsenal, I'm not saying all is forgiven, but it will go a long way to making up.
It can push a lot under the pillow, can't it? Basically.
It's a massive opportunity for redemption, okay, for the season that we've had. Okay, I've got no doubts. If we can get a result against Arsenal, we can push on from there and we'll be okay. In fact, get a result against Arsenal, Danny, we're okay. We're not getting relegated, mate. That's what I believe.
I agree with that.
It will be such an important. Not only will it bring the fans back together, it will unite the fans. That feel-good factor will come back. You know, we've got 11 games after that. Go out and express yourselves. Do what you've got to do. Let's not forget, it's a World Cup year as well. These players need to play, some of them. I'm not saying all of them need to play to get into the team. Like, so Romero's always going to be in there, but it's a World Cup year as well. Go out, express yourselves. Put in a shift, you know, earn your place in that World Cup squad as well. That has got to be another sort of incentive for the players.
You think these players give a fuck about that? Because if they did, they'd have done that at the start of the season.
Come on, Benji. It's like the biggest stage in world football. If you ask any England player, it's a massive honour to play in a World Cup to represent your country.
Brother, I'm with you. I'm fully with you. But let me ask you the question: do you think any of these players give a fuck about that?
I just think these players have been severely misguided this season, because I don't believe any professional football player can be this bad in terms of, you know, on the pitch, not knowing what to do. Sort of like they look like lost babies out there, like lost kids. What do I do? Like, where do I pass? You know, making the wrong choices constantly. You know, they're not playing as a cohesive unit. And Maz, I agree with you. That comes down to the manager. It's not down to the players. If that was the case, you can just have a team without a manager and just say to the players, right, go out and play every week. No tactics, nothing.
By the way, is anybody coming back from injuries for us?
Yeah,
Sorry?
yes, there is. I can tell you, Porro, and I don't even want to say the other prick's name. So yeah, Porro.
I mean, that's going to be big.
I refuse to
Porro's
say his
gonna be
name. Yeah,
Pigeon.
I mean, Porro's not going to be big because Porro's been dog shit all season, and let's be
Yeah,
fair,
but that gives us
a lot of our
extra
goals
options.
have come from that side. So I mean, what are we expecting? Look, there's 7 of us in here right now. 7 of us. I'd like to go around the panel starting from Danny, and I want an honest answer. Can Spurs get a result against Arsenal? Danny?
Yes, 2-2.
Maz?
After today's result, yes, for sure.
Igor? Igor?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, definitely. If Wolves is the blueprint from tonight, 100%, we
Fair
can.
play.
I'm not saying
Fair
we will, but we can.
Eugene? No, hold on. Whoa. Don't get yourself out of shit there. I see what you're doing. Yes or no? Can we get a fucking result against the Gunners?
Yes.
All right,
It's
fine.
100%
Eugene?
yes.
1-1.
Okay, fair enough. Mikey? Okay, gotcha. DK?
You're on mute again, mate.
DK?
He's on mute again. Michael, you're on mute.
Kurwa.
Oh, ironic that his name's Mike as well.
Mikel.
Mike and I fucking can't operate the mic, right? But yeah, 1-1 draw. I think
All right.
I think we can get it.
DK?
I'm going to go for outrageous 2-1 Spurs.
Can I just say something? I like all of you.
players.
No, listen.
We're winning.
I like all of you. I do. Truly, I do. And I respect your
I
opinion.
think we're going to go on a 10-game win streak.
You're all fucking delusional. There we go. You're all
Pussy.
fucking delusional. I don't know
Benji, you
what you lot are
pussy.
on. No, mate.
Yeah,
you're all
come on,
fucking
Benji.
delusional.
Fuck off,
You
Benji.
trust these players to go and do something against Arsenal?
No.
That's not the point.
No,
That's not the
definitely
Fuck
not.
off.
I've seen crazier things in football happen, though, Benji.
I'm sitting there listening to you. Like, oh, Arsenal got a second draw. Fucking, we're definitely going to do it, boys. Are you not fucking insane? I'm sorry.
No,
Mate,
Benji.
it's the Igor effect.
I was saying
I got a
before
shoot.
this game.
I
Just
like-
Thank you, Mike.
Take
Take care, mate.
take it easy. And Maz, you said
Guys,
you got to jump as well. Take care of yourself. Cheers for coming.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
thanks for
shoot
having
as
me
well.
on. Cheers, guys.
I'll be
Thank
up
you.
early, guys. So
Yeah.
thanks for having me on, Dan.
And has I've got osteopath tomorrow, so I think we'll be round the calf tomorrow as well. Hopefully after that, so I'll catch you there. Hopefully.
Okay, mate. No worries.
Cheers,
Well,
cheers for coming on.
yeah,
You wanna
thanks.
tell everyone
Thanks,
about your
mate.
calf quick,
Anytime.
where it is.
What's that?
Tell everyone where your calf is and that quick, because I'll tell you anyone. it's
Avery
a fucking
Hill.
nice place.
Yeah, Avery Hill is where the cafe is. It's called the Avery Deli. It's up in SC9 in Eltham. So anyone south of the river, southeast, get over there. I don't need to tell you. Dan will tell you what the grub's like. Pop in,
It's tasty.
say hello, have a bite to eat, and yeah, guys, thanks a lot. We'll catch
Take
up
care.
soon.
Good to
Benji
see
and
you.
everyone, nice to meet you all. Eugene,
Take care.
just before I go, are you the same Eugene from the group chat?
Depends.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
Depends what mood he's in.
First corner
Yeah.
group chat. Nice
Yeah,
to meet
yeah,
you, mate.
yeah.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet
Danny.
you.
Love you, mate. You need to make sure you catch up with me more often because you just disappear. Like,
We still
Yeah.
haven't caught up from the last conversation
whose
you were
fault,
supposed to have.
whose fault is that?
Yeah, well, that was the New Year's thing.
Where are you now?
I'm in Amsterdam.
Oh, exactly. You're in Amsterdam. It's not like I can catch the bus to Amsterdam, can I? Listen,
He's
mate.
in
You need to take
He's in
another trip here,
Amsterdam.
Has.
He's in Amsterdam, and he's still complaining that he can't get laid in fucking Amsterdam,
Oh.
mate. Fucking hell.
Right.
Hey, I
Hopeless,
never
isn't he?
complained about getting laid. What are you talking about?
Mate, if you can't get laid in Amsterdam, you're either just ugly or queer. Mind you, second one's got nothing to do with it because you can get it then as well.
Yeah.
Some people, mate.
Guys,
Great
I'm
to see
out,
you, mate.
yeah.
Take care of
Don't
yourself.
Take
make
care, guys.
lying accusations. Anyway, we'll catch up. We'll catch up.
Yeah, man. We'll
Pick up
catch up soon. Take care. See you later.
See you later, man.
See you later. Well, that is just a good ending to a night in that aspect to see that, because now I was saying it before this game, the pressure is now stupid on them. Stupid on them in every which fucking way possible. It might have sounded. I still thought even if they would have won this, we could have get a result out of it. As in, I mean, a draw for us is a result because, like I said, the pressure now, wow, and every time when it comes to roundabout March, end of February, March, they always seem to start fucking bottling it, and City seem to stand up and get their act together as such. And then the one season that City don't pull their finger out, Liverpool still outdo them. The pressure was on them in every which way possible. The manager's had 1.1 billion spent on him. He's blatantly got the best team, blatantly got the best of everything. And if they don't fucking do this, they've had a chance to be anything from 10 to 12 points clear. It could be amusing. Will they get a win? Quite possibly still, yes. But I still think there's so much pressure on them, we can get a result here. And it would cover the season in a few ways, because I think a few people would accept the season's fucked. No two ways about it. Champions League, I don't even think we should basically bother, just focus on that league. This would just be that little thing on there that if they ended up not winning that league type, like the Premier League, and you can blatantly see part of that is because of a fuck up against Spurs, it would just put a smile on your face. It don't rescue the season as such, but it puts a smile on your face. Do you agree?
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean,
Man,
Mash
that's
and Joe
right.
just said. I was going to say, Mash and Joe just said, you know, listen, if we win, egg on Ben's face. Listen, I fully accept that everyone will shit on me. You go right ahead, because that ain't going to fucking happen.
Shit on you, Benji. Don't
You shit on me.
Either way.
God, Dan, I thought you said you were going to sit on him now.
Shit on him, mate.
Calm down, fellas. Holy.
That's
Billy, I'm not negative, mate. I'm saying it as I see it, lad. It's not that I'm being negative, pal. It's
just opinions.
It's just opinion. I mean, again, if I come across negative, fair play, I can't really argue about it. But I'm sick of pretending that everything's all right, because that's how I got by.
I've just got this weird feeling we're either going to get a result against them, like we're going to beat them, or we're going to get absolutely slaughtered. It's like one or the other, no in between.
Yeah,
that's what I think, because we don't know like what this guy is going to do, right? And what's the best thing about this is that no manager really can tell what this guy is going to do with Spurs, because he hasn't managed them before.
We're going to play with three at the back. We're going to play a 3-4-1.
I know, but what I'm saying is, Dan, like,
or
like,
three.
When a manager, you come up against another team like a Bournemouth or something, they'll look at you tactically and they'll set up tactically to go and to beat your tactics, right?
Yeah.
To basically outplay you tactically, but no one really knows what he's going to do, right? With Tottenham, they might know a little bit about studying him, about what he's done in the past, but they might not know what he's going to do with Spurs. And I think that's what makes it dangerous, because he's an unknown. And that's where Arsenal could fall apart, because how do you plan for someone when you don't really know how they're going to play, how they're going to set up, how they're going to,
It's a good point
in their armory.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm going on, which is why I've got this weird feeling that it's going to be one or the other. We're going to beat them, or we're going to get battered.
That first goal by Wolves, fucking hell, that was a good goal he scored there. He put that in the back of the net quite nicely. No, the first goal, he put that in there quite nicely. And I'm just looking at the second one Wolves got now. He fucking spanked that one.
It's own goal, the second one, I think.
I wouldn't say that's an own goal. It'd probably go down as an own goal, but he wouldn't have gone in if he smacked that. That first goal, though, nice goal. So the advantage is in Arsenal's way, every which way possible. And when everything is in your advantage, it puts the pressure on you that much more.
That statement just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, listen, I'll repeat what you said. Everything's going against Spurs. Everything is in Arsenal's favour. I'm sure we're going to get a result.
No, it puts the pressure on the other team more.
Against Spurs?
Against anybody. Look at what they're fighting for now. Look at everything they're fighting for, and the fact that everything.
That's the problem. That's the problem, Dan. Look at what they're fighting for.
But that's also the problem on their side.
The pressure is on them.
Problem they've got. There's no pressure on us at all.
The fans are going to be up for it. The fans are going to be up for it. We're just going to. I just want to see some passion.
Fans up for it, definitely. But look,
I'm going to leave it. It's only 2 p.m. here. I get the whole day of AFTV, League Honor. I'm just going to milk this whole day. It's going to be beautiful. I'm just going to enjoy it. That's the best part.
I'm just on League Honor's chat, just typing in bottles every so often.
Oh, he's going to agree with you. So it's fun. You should go on AFTV.
Right. Thanks for everyone who came on. Much appreciated. And thanks for the super chats from Batoa, if that's how you say your name, and Ledley's Knees. Much appreciated. Give us a quick like and subscribe. Will definitely help. And let's hope we can fucking sort these pricks out on Sunday. I'm sure we'll have a chat before then. Anyway, everyone, have a good night and catch up with you all soon. Take care of yourselves. See you later on. Gotta do it hella big, had to run it back again. Run it back again. I'm on my face, mommy, and I'm taking something, and I'm about to run it. I'm got the waves jumping, I'm on my face, mommy, and I'm taking something. Gotta do it hella big, had to run it back again.